Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory lives just as it stood, like a quiet dream. The shadows of that time are cast beneath the streetlight beam. As the world moves on, time sings a song. Don't cry.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. And guys, sorry I had to move the time because, stuff happens. But either way, we are here. I want to make sure we are going to have this, breakdown today. This is the Blazungu News. And please make sure you like and share if you haven't already done so. And I want to thank Duwali Gaffney for the super chat. Stoic One, Visionary of Love, AB, Afro Concert, O'Shea Bin Sneak This in Afridamus, Supergirl. I want to welcome all of you to this late evening show. So, ladies and gentlemen, my question to you today is, and this topic here, this is nothing new on this channel. I have brought up this subject. I have opened the line. Some people get up, mad. People want to bring, their own ideas of who is an African. When some people speak, they base it off of skin color. But if you're an African, born and raised in Africa, unless and until you don't know the geography of Africa or you don't understand the composition of Africa, but you know for a fact in this day, there are Africans who are not dark skinned. It's not only dark skinned people who are African. There are people who are white people who are Africans, Arabs, Asian, just like they have black people who are American. They have black British. Hell, now they even have black Germans and stuff. But we all understand where the origin is. But now again, we have a group of people who, in fact, have a sense of entitlement. I have been calling this out from the get-go. I said one thing about Africa. Africa is going to bring you to reality. You cannot trick it. You cannot talk your way out of it. You cannot shame people. You cannot belittle people's concept of who they are for them to give into your idea of what you think should be. So, what am I talking about, if you ask? There's a video that I saw on the King and the channel, very interesting conversation. So, I'm going to break that video down. And in this video, there's a South African. All of you that are watching me here, you know that South Africa, in fact, is a very well-known country that happened to have white citizens. White people have been in South Africa since 1629, or before that, as far back as when they brought the blacks over here in America, around 1619. The Dutch, they came from the Netherlands. They went South Africa, then the British came. Even the British tried to colonize these people. They went to war for that very land. So, yes, these people are of European heritage, European DNA. But can you tell them they are not Africans? As much as you can't even tell a Moroccan that they are not Africans, you cannot tell these people they are not Africans because they've been in this, in that country for generations after generation. But now, I'm going to point out some hypocrisy that I saw on the King and the channel. This is why we Africans, we need realistic point of view of what is being discussed online. Because in the past, the excuses, just in case you guys haven't noticed, everybody, whether it is the white propaganda, Western propaganda in general, they have a negative idea of Africa. And even the people who pretend to be Africans, they would either have a negative idea of it, or they would have the fairy tale idea of Africa. But is Africa really like that? Is Africa only blacks? Even though you guys heard me say it is the black factory. Do the people, native Africans, that's right, natives like me, even though I'm African American, I'm sure you guys understand. But native Africans, have you noticed? If you are native, you do not have an opinion. The only opinion you can have is, quote unquote, if it's an idea that is being pushed. I noticed that with the white liberals. If they're showing Africans as destitute, poor, helpless victims, and you go along and say, yes, you tell your story, oh, how you used to suffer. Now you are a good African. But if you push back, you're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. You start asking questions, you're like, okay, you are showing me a clip. You're showing me a clip of the Sierra Leonean Civil War in the 90s. The entire Africa is not Sierra Leone, and that war has been over. But now you come to the Pan-Africans, where people pretend they, because here's the thing. Either they are doing trauma bonding with you, or they want you to buy into the narrative that is being fed about Africans, which is you do not have any opinion. For them, the Africans' clock, our timeline, the clock in Africa, has stopped. For some of them, since slavery happened, the clock stopped. Everything stopped. No progressive thing happened. There was no division. Countries did not exist. None of that. So people find themselves in the 21st century. And you start realizing, oh my goodness, it ain't really so. It ain't really so. So there's a South African, which I have played a video of this similar incident in the past, where a South African said he is more African than Barack Obama. He is more African than Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them. And some of these fake Pan-Africans started getting pissed off. Oh, how dare this, colonizer, blah, blah, blah. But was it facts? Was it facts? What flag does that white person pledge allegiance to? That is the question. Forget about the skin color. What passport does he have? You can be as black as the ace of spades. You are just wasting your time on the internet. Just like the Jamaican Chinese woman told you, you are just a visitor in Jamaica, man. When your 30 days is over, you get to leave. If you don't leave, they put you on the plane and send you back. It's the same way. That white man is not getting sent anywhere. So it is high time, you know, we educate one another on what is real and what isn't. We have to have realistic conversations. All these shenanigans trying to sensationalize things, running around the internet, wanting the Africans to go along. Nobody's going to go along with this. And you cannot dictate for people how people see you. That goes for all of us. Think about it. Who runs around calling Africans booty scratchers or whatsoever? You don't see Africans breaking down about that. Who doesn't scratch their booty? When your booty itches, you do not scratch it. Exactly. So it doesn't make any kind of sense. But the blacks, not all, but you notice most of them are very, very touchy and sensitive about identity. If it's not skin color, it's about where do they belong. And of course, some are going to come here, they're going to flex. Oh, America's my country. I don't care about Africa. Sure, you can say that. But the fact of the matter is, there are many people who wish they can have another flag. So this is why they hate on the white people who are actually Africans. And you cannot undo their Africanness. I hate to tell you. You cannot undo it. Just like they cannot undo you being an American. This has been signed, sealed, over with. That's right. Don't you watch the Olympics? Do you not see, the South African whites, the Zimbabwean whites? Do you not see them representing their country? Exactly. Did you not see the Egyptian team, Kemet, as some of you would say it? Kemet. Now the only thing left for the blacks is to pretend that Egypt used to be black. Sure. Okay, fine. It used to be black. Now what? It ain't black. Like, what are we supposed to do about it? My point is, these people, most of these people, they want to reverse time. They think they can, redo time. I'm perfectly happy with coming from West Africa. I am not claiming Kemet or Egypt. That's not where I'm from. I am perfectly happy with my origin going as far as the Sahel. I'm happy with that. I don't need to cross over the Sahara Desert. You see? But many are coming. They are trying to bring the confusion. At first, they try to pretend to enter Africa. And, they are like, oh, it is just people like Afrodamus, the Africans in the diaspora who are just the negative Nancy's. But in Africa, they are not being malicious. They describe people exactly as they see you fit. As they see you, because these people what did they do? When they heard about Muzungu, have you guys remembered the word? This word is new to the Americans in general, blacks. If you are not a white person that travels to East Africa, you've never heard the word Muzungu. And when they heard the word Muzungu, they ran with it. Oh, they started chuckling, saying, "Oh, there goes the Muzungus laughing." I said, I came in as the anthropologist. I said, pause, guys. You do not want to bastardize this Muzungu because you are considered a Muzungu over there. So you might want to sanitize this word, leave it as it is. Yes, in America, you can pretend you are separate from the white man, but the moment you hit that sky, you leave the American territory. That's right, you enter the black factory. All of you are Muzungus. Plain and simple. Phil guy, he he ruined the word. So now I can see how a black person in America would internalize this. But they thought if they keep saying Muzungu, Muzungu, you know, the people in Africans will be like, yeah, they're not, the blacks are not Muzungus. See, I know they are not Muzungus. I know this. You that is watching me, you probably know this too. But maybe because we also have lived among the Muzungus for so long, we do not, we don't even realize it. But the Africans on the soil, they know the difference. They know the difference. So what makes one an African? Is it skin color? The 23 and can a 23&Me African challenge an actual native of Africa, regardless of their skin color? I get it. People are going to be upset that I'm asking this question. But you notice how same people that get mad at me, they can never shut up about this. They are constantly talking about this because it's on their mind. It's on their mind. So I came up with the word Blazungu. The reason why I say Blazungu, because black people in America who are into the blackity black stuff, everything is black, 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 right? So to differentiate, when you hear Muzungu, that is a white man. Blazungu, that would be a black person. Let me play a video here. It's a short little clip before I get into the other video. It's a short, right? So they ask an African, I think she's Ghanaian, about Africans on the continent, how they see black Americans. So with the blacks, you can never win. When I read the comment section, you can never win. Once you hear this, because nobody is allowed to have a perspective. So this woman is going to explain. She's not saying, they fabricated this. She's like, this is how the blacks are seen in Africa, which is true, right? And you would think this is not a bad thing, right? But in the comment section, they were attacking her. Let me do my fair use and I'll play the short, then we get into the real program. All right. So I'm sure some are gonna come when they see these, they're gonna try to be upset. Oh man, look at Afridamas, doing all that tap dancing stuff, So you don't even have to accuse me of it. Let me just play it so we are all on the same page. Let the tap dancing begin.
man. I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man, what you gonna do? Look out, boys, it's coming through. Yeah, man, yeah, man. Boy, he got educated feet.
That's right. All right. Let me play this short here. And so this is the stereotypes. It says what Africans think about, the blacks, right? So let me hit this.
Your perception about America, your perception about African Americans. Talk to us more about what that is.
This is how we see the African Americans. We see them as people who have all these opportunities. Those people who have all the money in the world, like they have the gold. We see growing up, you see when you hear of African Americans or people living in America, you think that they just work on gold. They don't even have to do a lot like we do here because it's a lot more when you are here. And so when we see you or come here, even for myself growing up, what we say is money. Like those people are the people of opportunity. These people are the people who can give us something. Even growing up, this is not a place that you stay. This is a place you grow up and then you leave.
So then,
all right. So did you guys hear that? So you would think, because most of the blacks come out, they would say, oh yeah, we the best black, we got all this. See, they are calling this woman names in the comment section. She's never been to America. So when I hear blacks say, oh, the white man paints us wrong, no, you are painted as rich and having it good. Okay? But you know who you are. This is why some of you pretend, oh man, you all Africans, you call us lazy. Nah, you heard what this woman is saying. Back there, yeah, they think you got money. You don't even have to do much. So there are blacks who got mad. So there's no winning, right? Sometimes they will say, oh man, the Africans are insulting us. But this is nothing insulting. This here is, in fact, what most people think about America in general. So now let me play this video from the Kinganda. That's the main show here. It says a white South African man pissed off, a bunch of 23&Me blacks. Have you guys noticed this type of talking points? We Africans, we know we are Africans. We don't care. We do not care. But people who are insecure, not sure.
DJ and producer living here in Kampala now for 5.
People who are not sure are the ones that want to make a fight out of this. So, without further ado, let us hear how Kinganda handled this.
It's your boy Master Gabs, proudly Ugandan, American born. Grew up in the DC area. Been back in UG for 12 years now.
So we set tripping up in here, right? Okay. West Coast African American, 3800 block, Sacktown, Del Paso Heights. What is it?
Okay. Nice. So guys, watch this clip with us and react to it with us.
I was born here just like you. Don't come at me like that. Let me just live my life, okay? I'm African.
Everywhere on this planet where your phenotype exists, indigenous people suffer. Everywhere on this planet.
So this white guy saying he's African, leave him alone. Now here is a new type of African. He also wants to come in, lecture to this white man, like not realizing he is a new type of African. So the new type of African addresses the other. I don't know if I would call the white man new, because if they're Dutch, they've been there for almost 400 years now or more. But I don't know how long it would take for someone to live somewhere to be to be indigenous to that place, because these Boers are indigenous to South Africa now. I hope you guys know this.
Where your phenotype has settled, indigenous people want you gone. Everywhere. So you can choose to do something with that information, or you can just ignore it and say, you know what, you were born here. That's fine. Now, the fact that you were born here should not have happened. You were born here of violence, colonization.
Okay, guys.
Wow.
What do you think about what this young man is saying? The white guy is saying he's African and no one should call him a European, and then the other guy is saying he should not have been born in Africa. What do you think?
What part of Africa was he born?
South
Sounds like South Africa, right?
Yeah, based on that
African.
accent,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
South Africa.
Then the kid is a troll. This is my opinion. I'm obviously speaking.
So, hear how DJ maintain. He is standing up. The guy, the white kid, is saying he's African. I know some of you are saying you disagree, but if he's not African, then what is he? We all know when he said he's African, exactly what he means. The country where he was born and raised, where he is considered native of, is in Africa. Unless we want to say, South Africa is not in Africa. So he's trying to be dismissive of him, saying he is trolling. This is a European black person. A European black person coming after an African European. But let's go.
I don't know the person. But I think the kid is a troll. He's a product of apartheid, and he should shut his mouth. That's how I feel. Like
Say with your chest.
Yeah. Like the thing is, right? I'm pretty sure he knows what people that look like us have gone through, and to go out on his whatever social media platform he's decided to do that clip on, and speak like that, and at the end, like it's some sort of joke.
So his ego, again, this is how some of these people act. They have like a hidden hatred for white people, but you don't realize this white man is an African. You go to South Africa, you will be deported. He is not going to be deported. Just like you are a black British in a white country. I bet, how many times have we heard him talk about, oh yeah, I'm from London. Yeah, I'm black British. So you can say you're black British, a European, but this white man who his generation, his people have been in South Africa longer than your people have been in Europe. You can claim being black British proudly, but he can't claim where, he's literally telling you where he's from and you guys are pissed off. Okay.
Yeah, I can't really take that seriously. Like he needs to look at himself in the mirror and really think about what sort of message and what sort of image of himself he's trying to put out there. But he's no.
Okay. Before we move on to the rest,
yeah.
Do you think that white people born in Africa should consider themselves as Africans?
No. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
So that would mean black people, you and others in Britain, you guys should be second-class citizens also. So guys, so sometimes these people, their ego makes them illogical. Their ego makes them illogical in proposing things that doesn't make sense. So if white people born in a country where, if that's the law there, that it doesn't matter if you're born there, you're a citizen. But simply if the person is white, that means you are promoting, racism on paper. Racism, you want it to be a policy. How do you think that would work out, sir? White people, Europeans invented this game you're talking about, and they are backing away from it. I think they can play it better, right? So let's continue.
You want to back it up?
Do I want to back it up? I don't need to.
Okay.
It's just a straight no. But for the reasons I said before that, it's just too much trauma behind the way that behind like their existence on this continent for him to just come out and just be so blasé about it. Like I was born in London, but I'm
okay. Yes, you were born in London. Let's see how let's find out where London is. I guess London is near Timbuktu. Let's find out.
I don't consider myself European nor British. And I mean, if I was going to say anything, I'd call myself a Londoner because
guys, is this guy smart? Is he listening to himself? Yeah, I'm gonna call myself a British. You know, I was born in London. London is in England. Okay. If anything, I'll just call myself a Londoner. Okay. All right. He's a Londoner. Here we go.
you know, people from London like me, we have an affiliation. We understand what we've all been through in London. Whether you're, and it's not just a black experience; it's an Albanian experience, it's an Indian experience, right? It's an African experience, Caribbean experience.
Sir, it's the same thing. That white man, that's how my white South African. He was born in whatever, maybe he can say Durban. He's got the same experience as the colored. He can say, I'm not from South Africa, I'm from a Durbaner, whatever they call themselves. You know, I share this, you know, is the Zulu experience, you know, and all of that. So, guys, are you seeing how this is already not making sense?
Experience. So when we say we're Londoners, that's what we mean. Like, we've been through things here. We've had to like hold it down, and the rest of the UK don't get that about Londoners. That's why they always when we ever venture out of London, they call us Southern softies. They say we're this, they say we're that, because we don't mess with anybody outside, because everybody outside of London voted for Brexit. So that tells you everything you need to know about that.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to say on it, really. So far.
Thank you.
I mean, I think that guy was definitely trolling, right? With the whole hawk spit at the camera.
Dude, I will disagree with you. See, here's the thing. Black people, you have to start facing reality. Stop pretending. You guys sit on this podcast, you sit in front of the camera, you just spew whatever the hell you guys want to spew. Then when it comes to telling the truth, oh no, the person is trolling, oh, he's joking. No, he's from South Africa. We heard the accent. Who cares what sound he makes after it? Of course, the sound is about people who are questioning if he is. Who cares how he sounds? But he is going to try to diminish him and say he's trolling. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because there's so many people who are hopping on the bandwagon of lying. Let's just go along and get along. You're making yourself look weak. You're making yourself look ridiculous. Tell the people the truth. Tell the crybabies, look, just go kick back. You know, don't we hear blacks talking about they're from Baltimore, they're from all these white places? If it's about, okay, where your heritage, where your people come from, that's what determines, you know, you're confined to that geographical location. Then they should deport all the blacks back to Africa. So here we go.
And all that stuff, that's just a symbol of disrespect. Why would you want to be embraced by somebody who you don't respect? Why would you want to be included amongst those people while showing them disrespect? Right? I think that's question number one in my mind. For me, there's a difference between nationality and heritage, right? For example, you could be born of a country, you could be born in a country, rather. You could be born in a country and therefore establish citizenship with that country. And your nationality therefore becomes of that country. You could be of European descent, born in South Africa, and carry a South African passport. Therefore, your nationality is South African. However, your heritage is not African. So it's a question of what are you giving more credence to? Is it your nationality and your citizenship?
Look, it's all the blacks that go around trying to play these dumb semantics. Who cares? His passport says South Africa. He's clearly white. We know white people come from Europe. Hello? Why is that even a discussion? If a South African white said they are African, we all know what that means. But all right.
Your documented citizenship on paper that gives you the right to claim that you're African? Or is it the fact that you have a lineage and a bloodline that goes back multiple generations of people that are of this place? that allows you to claim African.
Mhm.
You think about people in the United States, for example.
Master Gabs, you gotta be careful. If he's saying you go back multiple generations, those Boers go back several generations. So this guy in 2023, you know, if we look, maybe his ancestors, they've been there at least minimum of 300 years. We don't, if you doing the back to generation thing, then that would make him a native of the place. Ding, ding, ding.
Whose family history is, I'm an immigrant from such and such country, right? The first nationality or the first identifier is of their country of origin. I'm an Indian American. I'm an Asian American, right? I'm a Ugandan American. I'm a Caribbean American. So people have the right to claim where their familial bloodline, where their heritage comes from first. And I think whatever you attach after that by way of nationality or citizenship is secondary and very much unimportant to me.
Okay.
That's just it.
Okay, we'll say.
That's a great point.
Jay?
Great point, Gabs.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking at me like that, O'Shea?
So I've been sitting here listening to the great retorts and responses, but I'd like to throw some in the game.
Yeah,
that's what I'm good at.
Okay.
Let's leave his European ancestry aside, and I'd like me to put myself in that equation. Let's take X out as a variable and put Y, which is myself.
See, O'Shea, I like what he's doing here. Because his situation, I've made a show here before, and people, you know, were mad when I compared the white South Africans to the blacks. It's just the opposite is one was enslaved, they didn't have power. You know, they moved them to a country that is mostly white. These other ones came to a mostly black country. Over a period of time, this guy was born. So over generations, O'Shea also was born in America. So if anyone that can explain this much better, if the person is being honest, would be him. And even, you know, maintain. This guy on the screen was born in America from Ugandan parents, but he's an American citizen. So if anyone should know this rule, should be him. But let's hear O'Shea.
What then, when you come here to Uganda and you open up your mouth, what do they say you are? What do they say you are?
Me?
What do they say? On average.
On average, foreigner and Mzungu.
Did you guys hear this? Did you guys hear this? O'Shea asked maintain. On average, what do the people here in Uganda, what do they think of? What do they think of you? What do they call you? Of course, a Mzungu. You guys remember I did the video about Mark getting all but hurt? See, these are the things that instead of people getting mad, these are the things we should have conversations about. Because you cannot try to force feed, you know, change how people think without having the conversation with them. So now I get it. I get it. He is mad because how can he be called a Mzungu in Africa when the white man is African? Okay? Because you are a Westerner. You know, so he's like, damn, I'm being put in the same category as the white man. Yes. Yes. But once they get to know you, they interact with you, they will know the difference. But here we go.
That was a British.
Huh?
No one says British.
No.
Mzungu.
When they hear me talk, they go, "Oh, you're American." I say, "No." I'll just say I was born in London, and they go, "Oh, okay." And then leave it as that. And then, like when I go out to rural areas, I've been
It's even worse.
I've been referred to as Mzungu.
Which is also interchangeable for white or foreign.
Yeah,
is
foreign.
that so?
Yeah, yeah. I think
right?
it's
What
more
about
to do with my accent.
Because you have an American accent very similar to mine. Who are you here? If they don't know your people, who are you?
If they don't know my people, they associate me with being not of this place. They associate me with being American.
Okay.
For sure.
So now we got to get to the point that people look at you and say, he's black, but let us differentiate him from the rest of us. You can even say, I was born here and left. And what are people going to say about you then? You're not from here. You don't have our experience. Now, if he was to go back to let's say most South Africans have a Dutch ancestry or a British ancestry. Some came from Russia, things like that. Will they say? And I'm not trying to cape for the guy, but if he goes back to the Netherlands tomorrow, what are they going to say about him?
Welcome home.
See, that's not true. Here we go. This is why these guys have to familiarize themselves with the world. This is why wherever you go, you get beaten down with reality. These Dutch people, first of all, when apartheid ended, first of all, Holland didn't even accept them to come there. If you go to the Netherlands, they are foreigners there. They're foreigners. Just like when the blacks come to Nigeria, to Gambia, to all these places, just like you are a foreigner now, is the same thing. Their ancestors left a while ago. So they're not gonna accept them back. That's why a lot of the white South Africans, they ended up in places like Australia. In Australia. So no, they're not gonna say welcome home. I highly doubt that.
No.
They'll say welcome home.
He can't speak because they didn't say welcome home to us to a certain degree. Why do we have? What is the name of this podcast called? What is the name of it? Why do we have this podcast here? We have this podcast because we identify with each other more so than we identify what goes on here. That's why this podcast exists. That's why we.
O'Shea is 100% correct. He's correct. Because over here, except Jonita, now she understands the Muzungu. But these three, they are the real Blazungus. You know, I'm sure the people out there in Uganda, they see them as the Muzungus. O'Shea knows this. He knows this. DJ Maintain knows this. So this should be used as an educational moment instead of, twisting the conversation this way. You already know there's many other people, black people in England or in America, who are already confused about this whole thing. Why further confuse them? Just point it out, say, hey, Africa is not only black skin. Some white people, they've been here for generations. So they are citizens of these countries, wherever they're at. So here we go.
Get views. We got to be honest about it. It's the truth. The idea is that white guy, I'm not even dealing with the fact that he, at the end, I don't care about that. He was born there, right? It's not his fault he was born there. He was having to be born there. Just like it's not my fault I was born in California, right? So he says I'm African, meaning that, okay, I understand I'm white, but this is where I was born. I identified here. I don't know the Netherlands. I don't know the Dutch. So the thing about it is that if he goes back to Netherlands, they're not going to accept him like he's one of them. They're not. You're white, but you need to do a whole lot of stuff to prove that you're from here, maybe, but you'll never really be one of us. That's the situation. And the reason why we have this podcast is because we know that's the truth for us here too. We know that. And something we can't get around. We understand that we black, but we're not going to let nobody else define the fact how you feel about us. That's how we have our opinion is this.
I'm going to push back on you though.
Go ahead,
I'm going to push back on you though, because the stark difference between we who look like the people here but may not necessarily sound like the people here, that's the one differentiator that allows us to be considered not of this place. We also come here and make great efforts to embrace the culture.
Yes.
When you embrace the people and you embrace the culture, when you embrace what makes the people truly who they are, then it makes it easier for people to welcome you in.
Yes.
And embrace you as one of their own.
Yes.
When I came here and I didn't have the ability to speak my mother's language, so to speak, and to say my accent was very distinctly American because that's where I grew up and I've been speaking American English for my entire life. When I started identifying and embracing those aspects of, Ankole culture that defined who my grandmother sees herself as and who my father grew up seeing himself as. When I started embracing those parts of my heritage and being comfortable and proclaiming that I am of that, then it gives people less of an excuse to tell you that you don't belong. But when you
First of all, what this guy is saying is not making sense. This white man is not coming as a stranger anymore. They've lived, like Dutch culture, that his culture is part of the South African culture. They've had white presidents in South Africa of his group. They have members of parliament, They have their regions, they have their village, I'm guessing. So they are now native of that place. They don't need, you, me, or other African to say, oh yeah, we embrace you. No, they are part of that culture now. In South Africa, even the blacks there, they speak the Dutch language. So, for instance, him saying, oh, if you come into Africa, you got to fit in. You don't think a South African white person, a Dutch white South African who was born and raised there for generations, you think they're going to go to Holland and fit in? No, they're not going to fit in. Or Germany. Yeah, they're going to go there. They're going to look like those people in Europe. But the moment they open their mouth, they will know that they are not from there. Just like people will know you as a black person, you're not from that place. The moment that Dutch guy, just like here, I meet white people here, they look white, but if they are not American, the moment they open their mouth, I can tell they are not from here. And you would ask, they're like, yeah, I'm from Sweden. Or they would say, I'm from England. Even if they're from England, when they talk, those of us that live here in America, we are able to tell the difference. You are able to tell right away. The white people are not like, oh yeah, you white. No, people go by nationality. That's just how the world is now. So his logic, what he's trying to say does not make sense. Because why would that be true for him as a human, but not true for somebody else because they are white? Guys, this race hate thing, you guys need to be very careful with it. It's blinding most of you, for real. Continue.
You're looking at somebody who's clearly looking at things from a perspective of, yeah, I'm still superior to you, though. I'm still superior to you. I want you to claim me as African, but I still look at myself as superior to Africans.
There we go with the inferior superior thing. So what part of the video did this white man say he's superior? Why do black people, not all, let me make that clear, but when they think they're talking to a crowd of black people, when it comes to a white person, they will claim superior, inferior position, but they are always the one in the inferior position, and the white man is in the superior. So the man saying, I'm an African, whatever. So now that's a superior move. Wow. Okay.
I don't see any demonstrated effort, and maybe we need to do a deep dive on this young man's lifestyle. Maybe he has a Zulu wife. Maybe he has an entirely different connection to the African culture in that country that allows him to legitimize his claim to being an African. But what I saw in that video, based off of the demeanor that he showed, he's just seeking entitlement to being called that just because he was born there and grew up there. But I don't see any embracing of the culture. I don't see any embracing.
Do you guys see? Do you guys, who are the biggest complainers of people just passing judgments on them? Isn't it generally black in general? You see how this guy attached all these things to this man. He thinks he's superior. He didn't embrace the culture. He is South African. I'm pretty sure that white guy, he embraces their South African culture. I'm pretty sure he's over there enjoying the beef biltongs. Okay? The Dutch culture in South Africa, it's in itself an entire culture of its own. What are these people talking about? At least if you're going to do the podcast about things like this, just familiarize yourself with what culture is, nationality, and the composition of people in a certain country. It's not about, what you like to hear or what you fantasize. No, this is just how it is. This is just how it is. I remember I was very shocked when I first started seeing like Asian, like Chinese people who are American. I was like, oh wow. Then I realized, I'm like, hey, in America, anybody can be American. That's the law. That's the law of that country. South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation. They don't only have the whites, they have Indians too. Yeah, I get it. Some of you race haters are gonna be mad. Some of you 23&Me Africans, you guys, they're gonna be like, man, you see, the Africans are bootlickers. No, it's because we are very secure in who we are. You know, I'm perfectly fine with Jorian Stone over there to be as an African. You know, he's of the Dutch tribe. That's right. He's of the Dutch tribe. But he wants to put a criteria, we should see him do community service and, probably go to like a Zulu village. This guy probably have Zulu friends already, right? He speaks the language. He went to school with them. But, oh man, we want to see him dress like Shaka Zulu so that we can accuse him of cultural appropriation, but because we can't find anything else other than this raw truth that we got to break down, so therefore let's just accuse him. Let's just accuse him. That's right. Elon Musk, he is an African American. So this is not about skin color, guys. I'm trying to help you here to understand nationality. Yeah. Understand what nationality is. Just like you yourself here in America. Do you not see all kinds of people who are American citizens? In case you don't know how that happened, there's this book called The Constitution. Read it.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I know they're dealing with that.
So I think that's a definite line that needs to be drawn. Like, it doesn't matter where you live. If you're born there and you grow up there, but you don't embrace the culture of the people whose heritage is of that, then you can't claim that.
Well, that's something we can't answer. But what I would say is we can demarcate that line if you would like.
Right.
Let's demarcate that line there. Okay. So in the case of the guy, and I'm not in the defense of him, because remember, for those in the comments, I have substituted X for Y. Correct. I put ourselves in his place.
Yeah.
Because it's the Repad podcast, so I want to look at it from our perspective, because clearly we would understand that he's not African.
Yeah.
But for those of us who feel that we are, what is the issue so look at the work that we need to do. Based off genetics, you're saying that he's white. He should go back to Europe. But if he was to go back to Europe, he has to do the same things that you just said that we got to do, that you had to do. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so what he's saying then, in the same case, that in South Africa, where he feels that because he's born there, even though it's wrong, in his mind, I am more welcome and accepted here than there.
So it is wrong for somebody to be born someplace. Guys, are you guys hearing this? Are you guys hearing this? Do you not understand when you make videos condoning where you should be able to discriminate against other people? People listen to this, they're like, hey, I guess the universe is fair. There's a reason why certain things happen to certain groups, because they are unjust in their hearts. You cannot be an unjust human being, unjust about things that you demand. And then when you open your mouth, so truly, if you're in power, you will not extend this very thing you fight for. You will not extend it to other people. It is perfectly okay to be racist and discriminate against a person just simply because they are white. So now, all of a sudden, to be racist, to be discriminatory is not wrong. It's only wrong when you do it to blacks. When you do it to, another group, it is perfectly fine. It flows out of their mouth, on their tongue. How many baseless things did you hear from these people so far? How many things? It is hate. It is hate. Yes, you said well, the whites invented racism. This is true, but then they ended it as well. Now we know, you know, the negative impact of that thing they call racism, basing laws on skin color. We know how terrible that is. So now we're saying, no, we fought, because that's what blacks all over the world say. We fought to end that. So secretly, we want to really implement this on people. So this is hate. And, now I'm used to it, dealing with a bunch of hateful people. They are blind. They cannot see. They just can't see it. They don't even understand, like, what they are advocating for is what they complain about constantly. When you say a person, so yeah, I was born in America, but it was wrong for me to be born there. Who says that? Think about that, people, for a minute.
That's what he's trying to say. Okay. Now, for those of us who genetically here, and even for you, even more than me, because your family's born here.
Yeah.
Look at what you had to do. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but what I'm saying is there are a lot of brothers and sisters, and my point, and I want to make this valiant point, that us in the diaspora are not looked at as much as real Africans. We are Africans who are not authentically people here. And the same case as that white man, if he would go back to Europe, would have the same issue. And I'm saying it to make the point to bridge the gap that I believe in the black world, we are just as African as everybody else, as much so as he is there. But if we're going to go ahead and give him that work for that, then when we come here and have to do the same struggles, and we are black coming back here, but we have the same problems that I would feel that he has there. Because, hey, don't the price go?
Look, the bottom line is, have you noticed with most of these blacks, they are like petulant children. They truly believe they want like a revenge on white people. They are wishing that this white man also, why doesn't he go to the Netherlands or Europe somewhere to go find his lineage? They didn't bring them to South Africa as slaves. They moved there. So I'm pretty sure his lineage is intact. They moved, relocated to that place consciously to make it their settlement so they can be free. Just as some of the Europeans were moving to come here to America, they headed to South Africa. So that's just what the world is. People move around. People move around. So however way you got to a place, guess what? That's your new place now. So people can use all these semantics, all these words, trying to mix it. Look, do you guys know there's a football player, soccer. He plays for Italy. He is darker than all these people on this platform. Mario Balotelli. So, well, you're going to be like, oh, Mario Balotelli, you are not European. We get it, but he's Italian. He's an Italian national. That's why he's playing for the Italian team. Didn't we see Embolo here? You guys remember Embolo? Embolo, the only goal that was scored against Cameroon. You guys remember that guy? Naturally, he was born in Cameroon, but now he's a Swiss. You see? So people need to learn and understand.
Go up there for us, and I know it's all foreigners, not just us, but those are the issues that we're facing here. The reason why we have this podcast on this channel and it gets views is for what that guy is talking about as a white man there, and that's us as variable Y in Africa. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. We can demarcate that line all day, and that's true. But still, maintain from London, coming from the Caribbean, they don't know him. He still got to do everything else. Dare I say, if the white guy come from South Africa and do the same thing, he will get more love here than he would, if that's the case. If y'all want to be real. Is it true?
So he get more love here.
Of course,
than I.
you know that.
In some instances, yes. But the thing is, right? You're right.
Look, Here's the thing. If the program you are running up here, that if that program is not right, nobody can make it right for you. Because you're just gonna go around pointing fingers. Oh, look at that person. Oh, look at that person. Did you guys not see, like, some of those South African farmers, having a hard time, they attacking their farms and stuff? Where did they park their stuff and move to Europe? No. I saw this documentary. Some of them, they moved to Congo. Some even moved to Nigeria. They moved to other African countries. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? If this, yes, they are white skin, we get it. Originally, they are from Europe. But these people see themselves as Africans. If they saw themselves as European, they would have, why would they pack up and go to the next African country? Why? So it's about what you're running up here. You can't force people to see you as something other than you're not. You can't force it.
About what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I'm not deemed like African. Like,
Yes.
I've had struggles coming up.
Sure.
I've had arguments with my African brothers and sisters. We've cussed each other out, been called slave baby, all these different things, right?
In Uganda or in
London when I was growing up, right? If anyone's got more of a chip in their shoulder to use their platform, because I've got, like, across all my social media platforms, I've got a lot of following. So if I decided to be like this kid and start trolling, and I have more than a right to do that, but I haven't. You know why? Because I have empathy. I have
Look, if it crosses your mind, if you're not brave enough, if you're not gonna do it, then don't talk about it. This is the problem. So this is how you see how things get escalated, right? So so when I say it, people get mad, but you're seeing the real hate against white people. He's saying what I'm telling you, the quiet part. He's saying, I would want to troll him and do this at X, Y, and Z to him. So, guys, hate is universal. Remember, I told you guys, hate and love cannot be mixed. So, you guys remember the same group of people, they told the story when they were in the environment where they had the upper hand against Africans. Remember? Against Africans in the white man's world. Maintain himself sat here and said it here, how they used to attack Africans in London. How many stories have we heard about that here until the Africans stood up for themselves? So if it's not the white man, there's gonna be another substitute. Think about it, in an all white man's country, London, where he said we're Londoners amongst the white men. The only other, group they decide to bully and attack. Guess what? Guess who they are? The African. The African. So now you are in Africa, majority African group. You want the Africans to join you so you can bully the white man. You guys get the point? You guys see why so many get mad when I speak about things? They try to say it's hate, but it's no hate. I just want people to be on the up and up and know what the truth is. Only the truth shall set us free. That's why when people say, let's unite, I always ask, unite on what? Unite on what? When people come online, you want to tell stories about how you did this or what the white man did to you. You want people to listen. But you guys notice when Africans are telling their KKK stories in London, in America, and the people doing it to them, they shout them down. Oh no, no, they'll be like, oh, that's in the past. Isn't slavery in the past? All the things they narrate, isn't that in the past? But you have a guy saying, no, this happened to me myself directly. The things they complain about didn't happen to them. So I'm just trying to wake you up. Maybe, if you wake up from your hypocrisy, then you will see that things will go really well. But people are paying attention to these things, close attention. And not everyone can just pretend like they are not seeing this. People are seeing this clearly. And this is why, people are giving a pushback on it constantly. Because the moment you put yourself, you make yourself the arbiter of truth. Now you've created a problem for yourself. Here we go.
Understanding of how things work. There's some people I will just wash my hands off and say, listen, you don't want to accept me. It's cool. It's fine. I can't change your mind. You ain't going to change mine. I move on. But I'm not going to go on social media and start trolling. And because I have a respect and an understanding of the situation, this kid comes across arrogant. Like he should know the way he looks and way he lives.
Oh, so he's able to pick up that the kid he's saying, calling him a kid. I don't think he's a kid, but he's calling him arrogant and all this. Do you guys see the arrogance is coming from him? You see? So if he's in Africa in a group where many Africans, so the group he thinks is the minority, he wants them attacked, just like they were attacking the Africans back in the days. A mob mentality, just reversed.
That what that represents, what that stands for. Like what he's doing is like, I don't know, because it's a couple years ago, I bet he wouldn't call himself African. But now Amapiano's popping, Burna Boy's popping, Black Coffee's won a Grammy, I believe. It's like, oh yeah, I call myself African.
So the Yementen is talking about himself and the other blacks now. So because blacks are so much into entertainment, so now to them it's cool to be black because now there's several African rappers. So they came to the Grammys. So now it's cool to be African. So these South Africans have been claiming African. Do you not see what their tribe is? They are called the Afrikaners. That's how African they are. Like these boys, these people have shed blood for that country. Like these people, they were willing, they fought battles to remain in Africa. So I don't think it has anything to do with Burna Boy or anyone. Okay. So you're the one that is moved by entertainment. These white people are about business. So you better go read their history or watch some documentaries. You'll find out. I mean, think about it. These people put their neck on the line, amongst bunch of blacks and put a law called apartheid. That's how much they were willing to fight and keep that land. So you know how dangerous that was? So let's just make logic of some of these things. I'm not speaking in terms of whether you approve of it or not. I'm speaking of how far someone is willing, how much effort. People give that type of effort only on things that they believe in.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool now. No. You know what I mean? So that's the feeling I get off him.
Look at you with those comebacks today. That's a good track.
Let me grab some water.
You been studying with a gama?
Yeah, man.
Let's see what we got over here. Let's see what we got over here with the off the record beautiful ladies over there.
Yeah, we do have two lovely ladies as our audience.
Just to back up what Maintain was saying, for me, he can't be authentically black. He can't pretend to love the black people. He can be born here.
You see, again, the conversation is not even, headed in the right direction. We used to, when I was in school back in Africa, now I understand why so many those other kids, they fail in class. Because when, they would give you a word to say, make a sentence out of it. And the topic has to be X, Y, and Z. Strictly. So she comes, as they go, they keep changing it. So Maintain comes, he comes up with his foolishness. And she comes, She throws in blackness in it. African and being African and black are two different things. You can be African and not have black skin color. Yeah, her comprehension is yeah. But I have a guest. I'm gonna bring the guest in while we listen. A man who has knowledge on these topics, and I'm glad he's the first one to hit that link. The link is in the chat. Hit that link. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Here we go.
You can maybe have one or two ancestors who are somewhat black, but he's not going to wake up one day and adapt to the entire heritage or the culture, of a native like me, or even you, a diasporic black, So for him saying that, it's like a dishonor to his ancestors and mine as well. Yeah, because you can easily relate to some of the things that black people around the world, like maybe the upbringing, maybe.
Why do you people always want other people to relate to your upbringing? If they were not brought up like you, why do you people always want people to relate to your upbringing? This makes no sense. She says, oh, he can just go back to being white whenever. Ma'am, he is white, in case you haven't seen. Just as you are black African, we are black African. That's all we can be, black. Just as he can only be white. So if he says I'm African, that doesn't mean he is black. Moroccans ain't black. Egyptians ain't black. I mean, Ethiopians, some of them ain't black. Even Somalis, some ain't black. So let's not conflate the two.
Be the food, and there are some things you're going to easily embrace too as a black person, despite you not being born in Africa, being born in America or wherever. But for a white person, I don't care if you've been born in Africa or not. Like, you're not going to adapt to that entire heritage, and he can easily switch back to being white if it benefits him. But as a black person,
ma'am, he cannot stop being white. Do you? So is she saying that just because he's saying he's African, all of a sudden he is black? No, you don't have to be black to be an African. So, guys, if I'm wrong, correct me on that.
You're always going to be
Yeah, that's
black,
a great point.
despite where you are.
It's a great point.
And how do you think of people who come here or even there, who are like mixed, half, but usually they identify as black, not white?
That's true.
Yeah. So for me, he can't authentically be black. He can pretend, but he can't.
My question is, what do you say about the Arabs?
You know, this female here is funny. She is in fact laughing at, if we use her logic, she's laughing at the blacks themselves. Like Visionary of Love said here, it's the equivalent of this. She broke it down perfect. Said men can say they see themselves as women, as we have them over here, and I'm sure in Europe also. Black Americans or Jamaicans can see themselves as Africans, but doesn't change how others see them. Others see you different, which is absolutely correct. Just like maintain, see, they are here saying black is the black, but the moment they raise, okay, how do the Africans here, label you, see you, okay, Muzungu. Exactly. So that means even it's just like being black and African are not the same things. You guys know this. Even you guys say it here in America. You be like to the African, man, you ain't black, you African. So that would mean you guys know that being black and African is not one and the same. You can be an African and a Caucasian at the same time, but you cannot be black and Caucasian at the same time. You can be black and not African. You can, your ancestors came from Africa, sure. But you notice how people don't say that part. Yes, your ancestors came from Africa.
Are they African? Gaddafi?
The ones in North
Morocco?
Africa.
Libya?
First of all, the Arabic countries of Africa don't even consider themselves
Selves black.
African countries.
Mhm,
We saw that with the World Cup when Morocco went. They didn't identify as an African country. They went as an Arabic country.
Really?
Yes. Places like Libya, where
Well, you see, again, the conflation. I've done a show about it here. You see, this is what I was saying to you people. Yes, Morocco is in Africa, but they are Arabs. They see themselves as Arabs. So I'm glad the young lady brought it up. And you guys remember that controversy? So yes, they are Africans, but they are not black Africans. This is what they are not Negroes. Even though us, the Negroes, we are the majority in Africa. But now we've had other people, not even now, Africa had, like, we've had this conversation here many times. None of us know how long the Somalis have been over there in the Horn. They have, mixture looking people. None of us know how long they've been there. We've tried that debate here. We've done circling, we've done research. Nobody can find a place outside of Africa where they come from. You have the Ethiopians. They don't look like me. They don't look West African. So unless you guys are saying the only standard that is accepted for African is you got to look like Afridamus here, the real African.
they're still selling slaves. If you're darker, slavery is still happening in places like Libya. So they don't identify themselves as black or African or anything like that.
Why are they not African
So
Union then?
yeah, they say they are in it because it benefits them. It makes them look good on paper. Same thing when Rachel was saying, if today it was going down and it affected the white man and it would be beneficial for them to change, they would. And that's what they always do. So for somebody like that to come and say, oh, I'm African.
It's called geopolitics, man. Let me bring in the panel while I have Judah in the house and I have KBN. Judah, welcome to the Afridamus Report. Judah, are you there? Judah, going once, going twice? No, Judah. KBN.
I'm here.
All right. KBM, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So KBM, you're hearing the conversation. So this white South African guy, this guy sounds like they're very pissed at him for claiming who he really is. And KBM, you're a white person, Caucasian from America. If you see a South African white person, just because he's white, are you going to assume you guys are the same?
No, not at all.
And when you meet South African whites, when they talk, do you not pick up the difference?
Oh, immediately.
Okay, so tell us what you've picked up in this conversation. Do you have to be black?
No, not at all.
To be African?
No, not at all. And it's kind of funny, like the Ugandan American guy that you have on the screen right now.
Right.
He basically, his perspective is, this guy is not African because he doesn't embrace the culture. Well, how do you know this man doesn't embrace the culture just because he's doing a podcast sitting in a gaming chair? You can't make that, that assumption that he doesn't do that, because he's obviously he likes games. Obviously he likes the chair, and obviously he has a microphone in front of him with a camera. Where do you correlate anything like that, if at all, that he does not embrace the culture? And second, O'Shea being the hypocrite that he is, and yes, he's very much a hypocrite when he says that's wrong because he was born in South Africa. That's wrong. Well,
I think he's pleasing the black crowd.
Right. But still, at the same time, he's given the idea that it is wrong. But at the same time, what most people don't know, it was O'Shea himself who came running and begging to me back in 2017 on the phone, teach me about Africa. It was me.
Wait. He got his white man, his African lesson from a white man?
Yes.
Wait, were you a Pan-African?
No, not at all. What I was doing back then, I was sharing my experiences about Africa with a lot of different people at that time, which I regret because what I didn't realize at the time, these are a bunch of weirdos that are into sex tourism and a bunch of other stuff. But the fact was,
did you tell him that before he went that Africa is not, a blackity black continent as they might think?
yes, I did tell him that any of this racism stuff that comes from over here, it's not going to work over there because racism is not an African issue, just like LGBT is not an African issue. So he knew that from the jump.
So you gave him the lesson, huh?
Oh, I gave him the lesson. I gave him the do's and the don'ts, which is the most important thing. If you really care about spreading, the narrative of Africa, and you care about the people who go, that you're talking to go over there and, be safe, have a good time and embrace the culture, whatever, or just have a good time on a vacation, you always should talk about the do's and the don'ts if you know about them.
No, for me, I'm just because he does a lot of Pan-African talk. He's never mentioned he learned this from a white man. You know what? Can you give me a moment? Let me ask Charlie Murphy on this one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Yeah. Okay. But it is funny. Every time he opens his mouth about something, like he's some type of authority, I mean, okay, O'Shea makes good money on YouTube. And the only way that O'Shea has been able to move around, and other people have spoken on it, it's not just me. If he didn't pay out Ugandans, like he does, because in his mind, everybody, what he thinks, you can't have friends unless you give them money, which is a bad idea because you've automatically shown to people that you cannot be trusted. So O'Shea is somebody who cannot be trusted. So he's got to keep paying people out in order to push all these different narratives or to make him relevant.
Yeah, but he's made a good point though, like when he played the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
So like the other guy maintained claiming that he's not British, he's a Londoner.
That doesn't even make any sense, man.
Yeah. So that guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's claiming this South African white cannot claim, being African, but South Africa is in Africa.
Yeah.
Don't you find that very ironic and weird?
I find it very weird because he's claiming London, which is in the UK. So actually he's claiming the UK while he's in Uganda. O'Shea is always going to claim, as far as I can see, he's never dropped this. This is one thing I could say he's not a hypocrite about, is that he always claims American no matter what.
Right.
And for the people out there who think his parents are from Uganda that I've seen spread around, his parents, both mother and father, are from Louisiana, and I've checked them out at least 3 generations back before his parents. They're all from that area. So that he's an American. Trust and believe that.
No, look, I've made jokes about it, or even people. No, O'Shea is American. Okay, all the way, all the way. He's American all the way. Oh, look at it. We have Josie Gold, and Josie Gold is from South Africa. Josie, welcome to the Afridamus Report. Oh man, we lost Josie. Josie, call back in, and Judah, call back in again. Rashid, we have Rashid also. Oh, there. Okay, Rashid, there you are. You are back. Rashid, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Rashid, this idea on this panel, the white South. I mean, we all know South Africa has white people. So, is this white South African wrong for claiming to be an African? And also, do you have to have a black skin like Afridamus here to be a real African?
Okay. He's not absolute. He's absolutely right because he's South African. He's African also. I said Africa. If we talk a little bit about the African thing first, Africa is a word that given by the Romans to the Tunisians who were living in the north at that time. The Amazigh people who were living in that area was given the name Afri. Then later on, because West Africa was known by the Portuguese as Guinea.
Guinea.
And
Guinea.
then
You're
later,
right.
yes. So the
The
Africa,
coast of Guinea.
yeah, the coast of Guinea. So Africa was not what was before Afri. What we used to call Africa? Nothing. It was just a land. So people in Africa, they are
Well,
tribal.
some say they used to call it Alcablan or Gondwana land.
You see, so
this is I'm just telling you what the Pan-Africans,
so that is the historical.
what the Pan-Africans have taught me. Okay.
Okay, I'm coming back now to South Africa. The South Africa, this guy, they've been there for generations, and they built that country. The white people built South Africa for sure. If you go to Johannesburg or Cape Town, it looks like New York. So they built it. They put their energy there. They put their money there. That's their, that they are South African. They're African. If we talk about Africa as a geography, but for this white guy, this white South African guy, I would have said he wouldn't have get mad because why he cares about what other people say. He got nationality. He got a country of his own. So
no, but we don't know the context of
we don't
the
know the
conversation, right?
his
But
spirit is
but
in anger.
but are you? So here's a guy in the conversation who, because in Uganda they themselves admit they refer to him as Muzungu.
Yeah, you see this black who coming from the from Europe or America, they are racist. The way they talk, they are really racist. The way they talk, and most of them, I see the Caribbeans are even more racist than the black Americans, and they themselves came from a majority black country. If they love black, why they don't stay in their own area? Why they don't stay in Jamaica or Haiti or Bahama? Why they have to come all the way to Africa? You see, so this is like they're contradicting themselves. So they are most rebellion, and they look more racist the way they talk about Africa, and they want to bring that to East Africans who are really nice people.
But do you not, like do you hear one of the Ugandan women now also? The way she sound, she's like, oh, this white guy can just go back to being white, and now she's using that language, talking of you can go back to being black or white.
So look,
the blacks like to use with us here. Oh, you only black when you want to. I'm like, when they say that, I always pull out my cell phone and look and say, hold on, let me make sure I did not change within the first few minutes, because I'm like, what the hell? How can I just choose to be black or white whenever? How is that even possible?
These black Americans, for example, they are not African. When they come to Africa, what nationality they got? They got the U.S. passport. That's why when the guy was pulled over in Ghana, he said, I'm going to call my embassy.
No, but the Ghanaians are racist, though. Very, very racist against the blacks.
No, how they are racist?
No, it's almost, because the guy, they did not pull over the Chinese. The white people,
they say that they pull everybody, even
no, they just let
Rashid is just banter.
So look, so these blacks, they don't even have nationality when they come to Africa. So they don't even have, they can't even have Ghanaian passport. They don't have the Ugandan passport. They are Blazungu. The way you put it is correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
Blazungu. When they come there, they are foreigners. So they have to be. So the guy who is South African, white, he is more South African he's more African than them. For example, in Kenya, they have 42 tribes. They used to be 41 tribes. Now they are 42. You know why they make 42? Because the Indians, they recognize them as the 42nd tribe of Kenya.
Right.
So the Indian guy now who say I'm a Kenyan, so why he there? If Nigerian guy say you are not African, does he care? No, you don't have to care. Because he was accepted in Kenya as a citizen, as a tribe in Kenya. So this African, this black thing, doesn't work in Africa, because we are countries who came together. Whether you are Moroccan, whether you are in South Africa, you are Kenyan, we are nations who have their own constitutions. We came together. We just say, let's be in Africa, and we build and we put our this thing in Addis Ababa. So, for example, I give you one other example. In Europe, you have European. They are Germanic, and they are what they call it. What they call it, Latin.
You mean
The Latin people and
the Germanic, the Saxons, and
yes,
the Anglo-Saxons?
Yeah, the Saxons and
Yeah.
the what they call it, the Germanic. The
The
Germanic
Germanic
blonde hair.
races, yeah.
They're mostly blonde hair, and
Yeah.
the Latin are the Southern
And
European, like
the
France.
Scandinavians.
Yeah, those are Germanic. Scandinavian are Germanic. So the Southern are Latin. So the France, the Italian, the Greeks. I mean, those are Latin. So they have black hair. And then there are also Slavs, who are the East European. So that's how people are divided. For example, now I'm a Somali. I'm a Cushitic. We are there for 30,000 years in Africa, more than 30,000 years, millions of years. The oldest skeleton was found in where? In East Africa, in Somalia, in the Somali region of Ethiopia. No, not Somali region, the Afar region, the Afar region. It was found the oldest skeleton in the world, not West Africa. So now,
Rashid, are you trying to start a problem?
We are the original African.
Hold on, Rashid, are you trying to start in a problem here?
No,
you're going to say West Africans are not the origin?
We are the original. If you are the original, bring it a skeleton that's dating back to 2 million years. Bring it. I will bet with you if you bring it that. Then I will say you are pure African. We are the native of Africa. We are the
well, we will have to ask some of our black experts on this.
Look, for example, now I have my own DNA recognized by you see, if I have even a proof, a West African tracing back his DNA to Somalia.
So Rashid,
yes,
how do you feel when a Blazungu comes and say the Somalis are not real African then?
Blazungu, he's already what they call it. He's already Blazungu. That means he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
So how a foreigner person would tell me, I am a native. I have my own country. They cannot say that to me. First of all, I'm located in Africa, and we don't care about color things, black or white. That's in American.
That's what I'm saying. The South African white guy have a flag. He pledged allegiance to.
Yes, you see.
He has a country.
I tell you.
Yeah.
I have an example. There was one British guy. He came to Somalia as a young guy back in the 60s. He stayed in Somalia. He became Muslim. He married a Somali woman. He learned the language. He was among us. The people, they give him a name, and he was just a Somali person. We don't see a color. We see as a man who was Somali, pure Somali, right there. He spoke the language. His children was born in Somalia. He learned the language, everything. So he dressed as a Somali also. So the color thing is not in our way in Africa, in this area. We don't care about if you are white, if you are a Chinese, if you are black. We just see you as if you come to us and learn our language, you're part of us.
Well, that's how it used to be. Even still living in Europe.
Yes.
Like some of these countries you go to, like Germany.
Yes.
Like they send you to their schools to learn their language. Like that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand their language, and you can assimilate. Which even here in the United States,
absolutely,
they take you to one of those ESL classes for the people.
Yeah, they want you
who
to
do not
integrate,
speak
to
the
learn
language.
the language. Absolutely, that's why you're getting the citizenship. It's when you learn the language and you learn the 50 states of America, and when you learn all that, then you will get the citizenship, right?
Right.
Because you now became more to America. If not, they won't give it.
Well, for now, for blacks to even claim being African, they would have to name at least 25 countries. You guys better start learning, because this need to be the new criteria. The countries there, and exactly what region they are at, and you better learn their capital too. Because
you see, they say we're just a black. And they come as a Pan Africanism.
Then you better move to Louisiana.
You see, they come to us. They say we are black, and all that. That's the only area they want to come to Africa. But in Africa, it doesn't work like that. You have to trace yourself into a tribe. Every country has their own tribes, and you have to associate with that tribe. And then if someone say, if you say even I'm a Ghanaian, they will say which area you from? Are you a Ga? Are you a Akan? Are you a Dagomba? Or
Well,
you?
like this white guy, he's got his tribe in South Africa. They are Afrikaner.
Yeah, that's their tribe, of course.
Yeah.
That's their tribe. He will say I'm Afrikaner, and people will know him, and they will respect him for that. So someone who comes from different outsider, if you tell him, oh, you are not an African, that person is wrong, because he doesn't have even nationality. He will get arrested if his visa is expired in Uganda.
This is true. Let's bring in Ras Moise.
Will be deported in
Yeah,
Uganda.
let's bring Ras Moise. Ras Moise and Zongo, who came from Zongo. I see you cammed up. We will come to you, Zongo. Just hang tight. Ras Moise, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Yes, good evening, fellas. Afterdamus, my brother, how you doing?
I am well. Ras Moise.
It's a good topic you got there, man.
It's Blazungu News again. It's happened
yeah, I
again.
know.
The complaint about the white South African.
Shockingly, Afrodamis, I'm a black Zungu because my ancestors were taken out of the continent like 500 years ago. So
right.
Technically speaking, I'm not a authentic African, even though I'm reconnecting to my tribe. I got my fellow Hausa brother in here, Zongo. Listen. If I came up, man, I literally look like Zongo. If I came up, this guy literally look like my twin. So we got the same hairline, we got the same like facial and everything, man. It's amazing, man. But yeah, Afrodamus, man. Listen, the blacks in the diaspora, whether it be the Caribbean, North America, Central America, and the Middle East, we're not really continental African. I mean, it's good, like if you're trying to connect to the tribe that you came from in Africa, and that's what I urge them to do, because we cannot go to the continent and say that, oh, everybody's black and therefore everybody's my people. It doesn't work like that. It didn't work like that 500 years ago, and it's not gonna work like that in the future. And that's the main reason why I'm very against Pan-African, because
But don't you think that they are confusing other people, like making them think, oh no, Africa doesn't have any other type of race, because I don't know if they were lying to the blacks here, telling them, no man, they don't have white people in Africa. Look, Kenya's new tribe they are Indians, just so you guys know. The blacks have been the blacks have been claiming to be Indians. No. Kenya reject pretendians and took in the real Indians. Their tribe is even registered. So if the blacks want their tribe registered too, you better make up your mind on which tribe you're gonna go with. I'm helping. I've given the name, because over there they're already calling the blacks there Muzungu. They don't like that, because Muzungu they call white people that
in
too.
Africa that belongs to them already. They have the Creole, and then they have the American
Liberian. Oh yeah, the black tribes. Those are the black tribes. Yeah,
those are the black tribes, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is true in West Africa, but if they want to establish in East Africa, I guess they'll have to adopt Blazungu.
Or they can do what KBM does, like marry within that tribe, like KBM marry a beautiful male woman. So is Meru by marriage, is African by marriage. If they want to do something like that, they can marry an African lady.
Yeah, but some of these people don't want to pay dowry. They're talking about, I ain't about to buy no goats. They're talking about they ain't about to buy no goats and stuff. I'm like, man, you better be ready to buy some goats. What are you talking about?
Am I going next?
Well, is your mic good now? Well, yeah, Zongo was supposed to go, but Zongo.
But I was here before Zongo, so I had to do some stuff and then came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay, that's true. You did call in before Zongo. Okay, Judah. Judah, what do you want to add on to this? Judah, is that white South African? Is he trolling? Is he wrong for taunting black people? Is he taunting black people by saying he is an African? What's your take on it?
Afidemos, I want to thank you for giving me the pleasure to come in and say a lot of things. This is a thing. People are getting confused between being a nationality or being a nationality from South Africa, or South African being a nationality, and an African. I think
And race.
that brother, huh?
And race.
And race, yeah. I think that brother, like what many people are confused is, you can be white and you are South African. You can be white and you are Kenyan. You can be white and you are Indian. Or you can be white or you are, Zimbabwean or whatever. But this is a thing. Like you have Black Americans, they are Americans because they were born there. Now, when it comes to Africa, and Africa is a mixture of most African languages, right? So, see, me as a Bantu from Cameroon, my descendants did not just come from Cameroon. I have a mixture from probably Nigeria and other African countries. So I call myself African because there are all these tribes that is mixed in my lineage, in my DNA. Now this white person does not have all these tribes mixed in his DNA, so he is not an African, but he's a South
How do you
African.
know? How do you know he doesn't have Zulu?
No,
Or
he
Ishan?
doesn't. Yeah,
Well,
but this is
you
what
Judah, you
let
don't
me
know
finish.
this.
Afidemos, let me finish. It's like him has. I mean, that's why I say he's a South African, because maybe the tribe that he has, maybe it lingers all around South Africa and stuff like that. Now, this person, he's an MMA for that matter, so I actually knows him because
Oh, he's
Adesanya
what?
from Nigeria. He's a MMA UFC fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a UFC
Oh,
fighter.
I don't know him.
What he said was, if he took the belt, the middleweight belt from Adesanya, he is only gonna be the only African that is fighting from the continent because he lives in South Africa. He doesn't live in the state.
So he's
Adesanya
telling the
is not.
truth then.
Yeah, he's telling the truth because he lives on the continent. He lives in South Africa and comes to United States to fight, and then picks his bags and go back to Africa the next morning. But this
Oh,
other guy,
so he is African.
right, he lives on the continent. So because
Oh,
now, as
damn!
you know,
I'm Judah. This man is becoming more African than you and I both. We
I
better
decide
start.
I follow a lot of this. So when people come on this
Judah, why
panel, I
did
do
you
a
have
lot
to
of.
come and reveal this? Now you got this man being almost being more African than
Exact.
me.
I do a
Why
lot of.
did you
I
have to
do.
reveal this? That he
I do.
can we just pretend that he doesn't leave? He sticks around.
No, I do a lot of research. I always come and
Oh
speak with
man!
people.
So
But this is
this
the
is
thing.
how deep his knees in Africa.
Right. Because
Oh boy.
he teased
Okay.
Africans. He said, "Do you know that because the UFC belt they used to have Francis Gano, who is the heavyweight from Cameroon, and then you have
Yeah.
Osman Kamaru from Nigeria, who was also I think the middleweight, and then you have Adesanya,
But
who was also
Kamaru doesn't live
lightweight."
in Nigeria. He lives
Yeah,
here.
he lives in America, but this is the thing. These guys, Francis Gano have lost his belt. I think Usman has also lost his belt. So it's only Adesanya. I think he regained his belt a few months ago. And this is the thing. So the guy is saying that him as an African, when he wins that belt, he's representing Africa. He's gonna be the first African that is living on the continent and winning that belt. But this is the thing. This is the thing that most. This is the thing that caused why Kegandas and other people feel like, oh, because he's white, he's not supposed to talk about African. He can talk about South African, but not But like I said,
Look, even if he
South
talks
African.
South African, they're gonna be pissed. You know
Exactly.
this. They're gonna be pissed.
South African is on the African continent. Most of these guys that we are talking, even Adesanya does not claim to be Nigerian. He always claimed to be Australian because that he used to represent Australia. It was just of recent that he started representing Nigeria. You have these other boxers in Nigeria, in UK. These guys they
So
represent
the
UK.
guy was a
But they are
sellout.
black. So most of these blacks that you want to claim that, oh, this person is not Africans, we are all sellout because even now I represent myself as American than even calling myself a Cameroonian or whatever, So we are not in a
Wait,
shoe to tell this person that, oh, he's not African, he's not this, he is not.
Judah. So Judah, you don't represent Cameroon.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. I mean, if you
So
have an
so
American
so so
passport,
so why were you mad at Imbolo?
Ambazonia,
oh, come
Ambazonia.
on, come on.
Is it because Imbolo scored a goal?
No, no, no. This is the thing. Even Mbolo is not even a Cameroonian. He's a Swiss. He's a Swiss person. Now, who is who to tell us? Now, back in the days, people used to see skin color and say, okay, because of your skin color, you are white, you are from America, you are black, you are from Africa, you are this. But now you have mixed skin. You have
But Judah,
people
you
that
know
were
what's
born in
funny?
different. Right.
The people, even though that you're right, the world have changed so much.
The
So the
world have
people,
changed. The reverse
the
has
people
evolved.
who are criticizing a white man about being African are black
Right.
skin, but they are European and American. They are not even.
Exactly. Like the guy on the Kingana channel is telling you more. He's more attached to Britain. But
No,
he's a black man.
you know, he refused to claim Britain. He was born
He's
in
playing
London.
London, but but
He
London is
only,
just the same.
yeah, it's like saying I was born in Accra, but I don't, you know, we don't claim Ghana. We only claim
Right.
Accra. Yeah.
That's just how black people like sugarcoating their own things when it favors them. But when it comes to the other person that wants to pin
Judah,
or make a
Judah,
point,
look at what Baroti wrote. Baroti, I want you to address that. Baroti said, continental Africans and diaspora Africans are both Africans. Why do we waste time talking about dumbass lands on topics rather than promoting Ubuntu to build
come
an
on,
African? Black
come on,
people
man.
still like, okay.
Come
What
on,
is
man.
this guy?
Diaspora Africans are not Africans.
What is this guy so what do you say to what he just said?
Come on, man. These are vague statements. How can you say diaspora? Diaspora? See, okay, I am a diaspora because I'm from the African continent. I was born there. Now, this person that you call a white person born in South Africa, he was born in South Africa. I mean, his generations were there for long. He doesn't even speak Dutch. He speak English and he speak Afrikaner. And
Yeah,
Afrikaner is an African language. So this
right.
person on the continent is more African than an African American who doesn't even speak an African language, who speak maybe a colonial European English and with a white man accent. That's why if you put a black man in a room and lock him up and you don't know who's speaking, you call him a Muzungu based on the voice accent and the way they
Yeah,
would have to
himself, he
separate
said
him.
they call him, he said they called
Right.
him Muzungu. They
Right.
call them
Based on what?
Muzungu.
Based on what? Based on the accent that he speaks, based on how they don't eat African food or they look at as African food, and that's the same mindset of a Europeans. So if you act, they say if you act like a turtle, if you back like a dog, you are a dog, or if it's the same thing. If you act like the white man, then they call you a Muzungu, don't have a problem with it. Now, when you want to say Africans in the diaspora are Africans, no, it makes no sense. You are not, because the citizenship that you have, the people that you represent, you don't represent Africans when you are in the diaspora. You represent a different country. That's why you have a different passport. You have a different, your country of birth is showing on your birth certificate. That's who you should claim. You shouldn't be claiming the continent, because this guy that is white, his birth certificate show African, South African. He's African. He's speaking African. So these people are more valuable on the African continent than you that lives in America. Why are they valuable? Because he is giving back. He has houses over there. He lives there. His whole taxes is being paid in the African continent. Your own taxes is being to cherish the white man's, money, make them grow. But he's not doing that. So I value these people living on the continent as more profitable than you that
Well,
claim to be
well,
African,
it
but you are
sounds like
not.
he's doing the good work. The blacks, their
Exactly.
money is
So
going to the U.S. Army to bomb African countries when they feel
exactly.
like it. Yeah,
Exactly. I'm not gonna
that's
talk too much because people are
yeah.
gonna
Let's
say,
bring
"Oh,
in
this guy
Zongo.
too long."
Yes,
I wanna give
since you
to
took on
Zongo.
Zongo's time, let's bring in Zongo. Zongo, welcome to the Afridamus
Yeah.
report. See, Zongo,
Yeah,
Zongo, you camed up today. Good job.
yeah. Good job.
You know, last
Okay.
time, I put on, what's his name? Nat Turner is the only one that cams up. But Nat Turner ran when I showed him Nana Akufo's picture. When I told him they are related, he was afraid to admit it. He thought they would deport him to Ghana. Every
They
time I
have the
bring up
same.
Africa, he runs. He's
Oh
like, I don't
wow.
want to mess with y'all Africans getting me deported to Ghana, no ice cream. But Zongo, what do you think about, like, okay, this is 23&Me African versus white South African, born and raised. They came there, they conquered part of that land. They've been there. So, you know, the blacks, some of them are pissed off that the man says he's African. What's
The
your
black
take?
are the black Americans?
The Blazungu, not
Oh,
the
like
Blazungu.
from Britain. The
No,
Blazungu.
you know, some of the other blacks were in the comment section also. So let's just pretend, because you know, a lot of the blacks already hate whites. They're gonna naturally just hate
Yeah.
this. So
I mean, first of all, like I think I missed the first hour of your video, like the conversation. But I would just say like the term African does not even exist in most African languages. So most Africans do not. The term African is even alien to them.
yeah, but
I
today
mean,
in today's time, right? Do you have to be black like Afridamus to be an African? Is it determined by like can you be white and an African at the same time?
I mean, I mean, it is understandable. Like majority of people in Africa are dark skinned people, right?
Right.
But I mean, in present time, in this contemporary age, you can be white or any race and still be African, because the same yardstick has to be applied in America and elsewhere as well. Because we have a lot of people living in America right now that are not indigenous to the continent, but they claim to be Americans. If being
Well,
indigenous,
we've got blacks, we have Africans here who are claiming to be indigenous to this land.
exactly right. So if being indigenous give you the access to the continent, the only people that could claim the continent of America is the natives only. But we have blacks claiming to be Americans, the white also claiming to Americans. The same yardstick has to be applied on the other side as well, the
Yeah, but they
continent of
say it
Africa.
should not. They said it
Why?
shouldn't.
Because
Well,
they are not
because
indigenous to the land.
because it's a white person, so therefore, why, you know, is why accept it?
I mean, because when I was listening to the girls' conversation, it seems to me personally that she's kind of like pushing the narrative that O'Shea is telling her to push it.
Exactly. You know what? Hear this part. Hear this part, guys.
Everything, you're not. Plus, the blood that flows through your veins is not African. You were born from an ancestry that was not African. Your ancestors were not African. They just happened to settle here. So for me, the blood thing is so heavy for me.
Yeah.
Because even in DNA, you are not African. You're just by naturalization. So
Can I say something to that? I agree with what you're saying, but it seems to me living in Uganda, there's a bigger rhetorical question: is what defines an African? And from what
Good question, O'Shea. What defines an African? Let's hear them out.
I understand now, living here, it's not just genetics.
Right.
You need to do something to qualify to be African. And then if we go ahead on and put it into a niche sector, there are certain things you need to do to be Buganda and Kole, Bajiga, right?
Right.
So now there are certain behaviors and things that you must do every day to be classified into that. My problem is this, and I'm going to go back to one of our best episodes by the think tank himself, right? The smartest man in Africa, Dr. Gabs. What do African elites think of African Americans? And what I honestly believe, and I'm going to push some in the game, the things that we do as diasporans do not qualify as African behavior.
Boom. How many times have I said this? Guys, what do you guys think about what O'Shea just said there? Do the blacks, the way they behave, you know, does it qualify as African behavior? I mean, I think, let me change the wording. So when he said behavior, he means culturally. He means culture. Because I know some of you are going to think, oh, Afrodamus is talking about sagging pants. No, we're talking culture. So O'Shea is right. You know, because it's not just about the DNA. It's not about DNA. It's more than that. Like you can take a DNA and it says you came from, you know, another region, for example. It can say the region, but can you be part of that tribe? That's the question. What do you think about
No, I
what
don't.
O'Shea said?
I don't think so, man. These people are not. This is the thing. People are just. I mean, we have taken this thing too far. People just think, oh, the same skin color. Oh, you are this, man. These people, when they go on the continent, they act different. They don't. They move different. They speak different. They don't align. Like this, I was following this guy, one of these guys on the Kinganda's channel. He said he lives in an area in Uganda called Antebe. I think it's a place that is close to the airport. I think that's where the president lives, and most of the people that live there is high class people. So they hardly mingle with the Ugandans themselves on the street because they say the mindset on the ground is different with them. They have a mentality. Even Oshedu Jackson even said one time that the people that he brings to his channel are people that have a different mindset. Than these other people.
Yeah, but it
Well,
doesn't.
I
It
don't
doesn't.
blame it.
Yeah,
Why would
but it doesn't disqualify him from being from that region, right? Because if he's mingled with people from certain class, they're all
right,
Ugandans as well. So
right?
he's probably
Yeah,
finding
yeah,
people that
that's he
matches
has to.
his same
Yeah,
wavelength in terms of his
water
style of
seeks its
living
own level.
or his
I mean,
yeah.
Jude, I mean, like that's another. I don't expect
Yeah,
like
being an
these
African doesn't
people wanting them to you go to Africa and just mingling with every Joe Blow.
the ghetto man.
We ourselves don't do that. Why
Yeah,
are we
but
expecting the blacks to
yeah,
do
but,
it?
yeah, but this is the thing you fail to understand. Are they going there as immigrants? Are they going there to trace their root? Are they going there to relate with the people, or are they just going there to create their companies? These are the things that you have to find out now.
That's a good question.
If you are going there to create a company, then you
Mhm.
find the right people and do your business. Now, a person that is going there to mingle and trace his root of origin is gonna do different. Is gonna find out, oh, how do you people do things? Now, I don't think O'Shea does that. He's just there for his own business and makes his money. That's the thing. Now, I don't have a mindset with that. Now, for people that says, oh, they want to trace, those are the people that I'm talking to. You
So,
have to mingle. Go ahead.
what do you think about the lady that's talking about? For her, it's about blood. African blood. What is an African blood?
Oh man, there's nothing as an African blood, man. Even in America, most people
I
like us
think.
relate more to white people than even blacks
Yeah,
or
I
blacks that
think.
we see.
I
It's
think.
you
I
might
think.
call it sentiments, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. Even in America, when you come to America, right, you feel like, oh, linking with a black American might be a problem to you. So a white person might be the one that might even help you out. So it's sentiment, it's not blood, because even blood is not. I wouldn't call that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the blood thing is. I mean, I don't know what she thinks, but Um, I think the culture is way important. Like the language, the mannerism of the culture will help you to connect with the people more than just the blood. Because a person, like, I mean, generally, I mean, we're all black, so we tend to identify ourselves based on what we see. But the moment the person starts to speak, then you further like reclassify the person. Oh, he belongs to my culture. He belongs to that culture, right? So a person might be white, and you might think, oh, he doesn't come from a culture. But the moment he starts to speak the culture that you understand, he might draw a little closer to you. In Ghana, we do have a lot of white people that speak very eloquent tree than I do, and wow, like a lot of people they really do embrace them, right? They really do embrace them because they understand the culture at the at the at the roots level, and most of them like they were born over there. They cannot connect them their granddads or moms back in Germany where they came from, and or England where they came from. So they consider themselves to be even Ghanaians. I mean, I think the locals are going to accept them because they speak the culture, they act like them, the mannerisms. They even marry the black people over there. So that's probably understandable,
Look,
right?
white people have been marrying people in Ghana for a long, long time. Look, one
Look at the
Jerry, Jerry
Jerry
Rollins,
Jerry Rollins, right? His
yeah,
dad is
yeah,
Scottish, right?
yeah.
But
So,
but he's African to the core, right? He
yeah,
doesn't like the white people, even though his dad is white.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So it is what it is. Let's have Rasmus. Rasmus, what did you hear the clip I played?
Which one?
Just the last one with the female talking about
Oh yeah,
the African blood and.
I mean, she's really delusional. What exactly is an African blood? I mean, for me, I think it's if you were born in a continent, like you speak, just like the way my brother Zango was describing it, like you speak the language, like like the mannerism of the people, and you embrace that culture, and you embrace the language, their ways of life, you know. To me,
So
that's that.
O'Shea brought a good point, good question. What makes you an African? Because he said the blacks in America, he said that they don't act like Africans. Their behavior is not African behavior.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what makes you an African? Like, if you were born in Africa, like your tribe, the culture.
But also, what is an African behavior though? If
I mean,
Africa
that's
entails all kinds of people.
I mean, to me, I would think that like African tends to be like very conservative. So I would say that if you are very conservative and you take care of you take care of things, and to me, I feel like
There are some blacks who are conservative, and also there is a bunch of
okay,
bunch of
Afrikaners, but
in
in what
Africa.
way? In what
You
way they
know,
are conservative? They are
in
conservative in white America,
right,
right?
right. Man, I was trying to give the blacks a bone here.
See, they are conservative in white America. They're not conservative like the way African people think. They are conservative the way the European and America thinks.
But I know a lot of them that are against Pookies and Rares and LGBTQ and all that.
yeah.
Hey,
Most of them can really blend in, and I mean, because the culture is not homogeneous. I mean,
Look,
there's
to me,
actually
the blacks that can blend in are not the ones complaining. Let's put it that way.
right. I mean, you see me, I don't
exactly,
complain. I can
exactly.
easily blend in Africa, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
yeah.
I'm
The
not
one
but I'm not gonna be
O'Shea
cocky and
can blend
arrogant.
in.
Right. You can blend in, like you see my face before Afrodamis
Right.
on the fish market
Well,
lady place. So yeah.
yeah, but
I,
after that,
I
but sometimes
yeah.
complaining also, it's not necessarily an Afri like complaint. Like for instance, like if you go to a slum in Ghana, whereby like even access to like potable water is not it's not accessible. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna complain. Even most locals complain. So blacks complaining doesn't make them
Oh no,
less
no.
African, right?
Exactly. No, I get
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
that part. No, I mean
yeah.
Africans complain more than anybody.
I
But
mean,
let's.
most of the times that blacks complain, I mean, Africans do complain, but they've gotten used to that. If Africans get a chance to stay in America, they're probably going to end up complaining the living conditions in Africa. In terms of behavior, I think I don't know most blacks conservatives can be able to deal with the with the Africans. You know, I've met some black conservatives over here. Then, man, sometimes I thought they were Africans until they told me that they're actually blacks. You know.
Awesome. Okay, let's bring in Elon Musk. Elon, the African. Elon, are you there? Elon, please, Elon, don't tell me you have an Obama internet. Please, Elon, do not tell us you have Obama internet.
Afidemos, what we are planning to do, I have a group that is coming up again. It's called Make Africa Black Again, MABA. Make Africa Black Again.
Make Africa black. What is this all about?
We have to clean out the North Africans and the Somalians and chase them back to Middle East, chase out the white South Africans and make. Do you know that most of this land were inhabited by Black Africans, Bantu and Nilotics? But because of what happened, most of the Bantus got killed, Nilotics got killed, most of the Bantus got enslaved, and most of their land was being
But
taken and they got
Judah, you
chased
were
out
just
from their
talking
original
about
land.
how you represent America.
Right, but I also have heart for Africa because
Judah is a walking
I'm in deep
contradiction.
concern with what is
But
happening on the continent.
but
So
don't you think you should have waited another show when I forgot this one and
but
Judah is
oh,
a
hold on,
walking.
we have Elon the African here.
But that's why I'm giving them
Elon,
a
did you
passport. So
fix your internet?
Yes, I fixed my internet, Afrodamus. Thank you for having me. I see there's a lot of questions going on as to what is an African and who has African blood. I want to
Yes.
take this time, since I have the floor, apparently, to let you know that African blood runs deep within my veins. And on that note, I'd like to make an announcement here on your channel, if I may. I have started to conceive my very own line of pure blood Africans. I have just procreated with Charlize Theron. And
Wait. Isn't so?
She's
wait.
African.
Okay, but if you're trying to do the blood thing, don't you think, Shalish should be passed on to somebody like me, and then you take a Zulu woman or something?
I don't want you to tarnish the bloodline, Afrodamus. It needs to be a pure African.
I am
pure African like myself.
So I am
like
African.
And Charlize Theron, the most African people on the planet.
Wait, are you saying
African?
Wait, I just said the purest African here can continue that bloodline. What do you say?
Just because your name begins with Afrodamus, I can call myself Afro Elon Muskus, and I'm still more African than you. Okay, and we are going to create our own country of pure Africans.
Wait, are you saying? Are you saying? Are you trying to throw a rumor out here to say Afrodamus is not real African? That's why he's using this name to throw people off the scent?
Yeah, I think the results are in from 23&Me. You're not pure African. I've seen a little bit of
Please
north of the Serengeti.
Nobody
might I add,
23&Me.
23&Me. It looks like you came with a little bit of Iraqi blood, but I am pure African, pure. And Charlize Theron.
And how do we know this?
African. Oh, my results are in. I came back 100% that African.
All those results are fake, man. We don't go by DNA in Africa. Clean that out. Stay in America. We don't need that stuff.
I'm African. How dare you tell me what an African is? I was born in Africa. My parents are African. We're all Africans. I'm more African than people from Liberia. They're Americans. I am pure African.
Just that accent is American. We don't need that shit. You know what I'm saying? Stay American.
But he's
Judah, my brother from the continent. You shouldn't talk bad about another brother from the continent.
What country are you from? The continent is big. What country are you from? What is your language?
Do you see the flag? Do you have eyes? Do you see the flag?
You might have that flag. What is your language? What is your culture?
You know I speak Afrikaans. I speak the most African language there is, Afrikaans. The name of my language is actually Africa.
Yeah, Judah, yeah, they got the Afrikaner language, So the man's got a point there.
Just because I'm melanin deficient doesn't make me any less African than you, my brother.
I was just putting you in check.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. We're all brothers from the same continent, my brother.
I'm not going to check yourself because my policy is to make Africa black again. So we might clean your ass out and take you to where you belong, and all those North Africans and all those middle, Somalians and stuff.
It's too late. Me and Charlize Theron are starting a new race of Africans, pure Africans.
Well, Elon, what you're doing with Twitter there, I love it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Afrodamus. You got a great show as usual. And just remember, just because we're white doesn't make us not African. My parents were here longer than Liberians. So put that in your African pipe and smoke it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elon.
Yeah, he's right. He's right, man. He's more African than what's his name? Rasmus or whatever. Or these African Americans. He's more.
No, Rasmus is 19.
I'm not even mad at that because he's right. I don't live in the country.
But he can be more African than you do. Because you believe
Rasmus is Asian, so.
I don't get in my feeling. It is what it is, man. I can't. I trace my lineage to two tribes in Africa. Like one being Hausa and the other one being Tikal. So I can't go to Cameroon. I can't go to to Babenda and say that, well, I'm Tika, well,
they have
therefore, like, you
outside
guys need to-
Cameroon.
Yeah, I know. There's outside Cameroon and Chad and
He got outside everywhere, even
almost
in
everywhere
Ghana
in
too.
West Africa.
Yeah, but he
But I
likes
can't go.
the outside Nigeria
to these
better.
places. They claiming that, oh, I'm this, I'm that. So therefore, like, I need land. So you guys need to give me land. So I gotta humble myself. So I'm not even mad about that.
Hey, so 86 Lion said Phil Scott is a Blazungu. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Yes.
is, man.
He's the one that was going around, repeating that Muzungu word, and little did he know he himself is a Muzungu. But now I've helped clear the air so that people can be mad. You want to be seen as a black man? I told the East Africans, don't call the blacks Muzungu because they are not Muzungus. Call them Blazungu.
Blazungu, right?
Yeah,
But
the
see, after
black
that,
in the front.
the thing about these people, man, they are very they react very emotionally.
Right, right.
They can't take no for an answer.
This is
And-
true.
And that's why a lot of them, like, if they hear like people like you, they hear people like Judy, man. Listen, man, like, they're gonna be really upset. They're gonna be like, oh, how am I not African? Blah blah blah. How am I not this and that? But you got people in the continent that's telling you who you are. You just gotta accept it. I mean,
You see the
are
look
they
on.
throwing you away? No, they're not throwing you away. They're just telling you that you're not this. In order to be this is what you need to do, and just accept it.
And this is new for us Africans, especially people in Africa. Imagine you gotta tell somebody, no, this is not your tribe. No. Like, that's awkward. It's like you're like, nah. If the person is for real, you're like, but in Africa, they're not gonna tell you you're not. I think they would just embrace you. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you're right. They're gonna embrace them.
I think they're gonna embrace you. Come to think of it.
I don't know, Afrodamis, that the way you be talking about the Sunenke, man, it seems to me like the Sunenke is not gonna embrace anybody outside their little tribe.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie.
See what I'm saying?
I'm not like, that's why our numbers are not that large. Man, to clear that line is very hard. It's very hard.
But I mean, like, Ras Morris, I don't know, like, if you come from Jamaica, like, and you're Rasta, like, you have some kind of like dreadlocks. I mean, if you go to some West African countries, you can blend in with the Rastafarians.
Yeah, but I'm not a Rasta, man. I just put that name in there, but I'm not a Rasta. I'm from Haiti, man.
I mean, regardless, even
Look at what Raja Love wrote. This is cracking me up. She said they won't claim that Africanness when that sun cycle really kicks in. They will run. She is correct.
Yeah, but
Isn't the black Americans running as well? Why is he saying only white? I've not seen only black Americans are also running. Most of these guys that claim they went on the continent, they are running back to US and running back to the embassies in Africa, coming back. So
Well, because some people miss their snacks.
Right?
Some
the same people, the same mindset, the same snacks, the same climate. They complain about everything. It's the same set of people. Matter of fact, you even have white people that exploit more of African than these African American. And an African American is scared going to DRC Congo, but there are certain places where Muzungus go in Africa. So even though they don't speak that language, so that tells you that white people even want to integrate more into Africa than these black Americans or these black diaspora.
Let me play this here.
That's what I want to talk about, because what qualifies one to be an African? Clearly, genetics is not the only thing. There are certain things you need to do. There are certain behaviors you must have. You must have certain proclivities. So what I'd like to know is, in order to be African, what qualifies you to be an African? Must you eat matoke every day? What? Must you speak Luganda? There's certain things you got to do. So
O'Shea is asking, but these people are acting uncomfortable. That's right. Judah, what would you say qualifies you to be an African in an African country? Because I've seen some of these white women in Gambia, some of these white women, They are married to. They have a husband who's got a Gambian wife. They got a polygamy relationship. You know, they speak the language. They cook the food.
Exactly. That's
You
what
know,
qualifies you. Speak the language, you are married, you are mixed into the culture, you believe in certain things, certain religions, and certain those are the things that makes you an African. Those are the things that people look at you because right now, take for instance, an African American goes to Africa. If he keeps speaking, oh, this is English. You know, me and you, when we go to Africa, our accent that we speak in Africa changes. The way we speak English in America, you go to Africa, you don't speak like that. You go to
right?
that level and start speaking your African English or maybe your traditional languages. People start
That's right.
looking at you as like, okay, he's
Or
African. You
pigeon.
know, you start pidgin.
Or
That's
pigeon.
it. So that's it. So you
That's
start
right.
mingle. You know, but when you
Yeah.
go there, you start eating like some kind of white. They say, oh, he's eat like the white man because you start looking at some African food nasty. That white mindset kicks in. African, oh, he's trying to think as if he went to Europe and he acts now like a white man. Those are the mentality. But when you take those things off, that is what makes you an African. You are able to mingle, eat in an African home, sit down and eat with people, talk, you know, their language, their accent start changing. That's why I tell many people, if you cannot speak an African language and you call yourself a Pan-Africanist, it means you are doomed. It means you are just
Yeah,
fake.
because
You
see,
cannot
these
be
people
calling
need to
yourself
eat
Pan-African.
that okra soup. Okra
Right.
soup. So their accent
Right.
can change.
Right. So you want to call African culture and African food disgusting. Yeah, you want to call yourself a Pan-African who is not able to mingle around with people, you know,
I mean,
try
but
to
who
even
said?
learn the language. And you're a grown man. You're 40 years old. Yeah, you cannot learn a language, but you are happy to speak a colonial language. And then you call yourself, oh, we're enslaved for so long. That means what? It takes an hour or two, a year to even learn one language. So you're telling me you don't have free time to learn an African
But
language?
I mean,
Come on,
Afrodamus.
man.
Who said African food was disgusting? As far as
Oh,
Oh,
I,
come on, man. This is
you've
double
never
mental.
you've never heard the blacks? Not
as far
all.
as I know, it was Judah who said to me that he doesn't like the Gambian food. It was too like they mix
No,
okra in
no,
that.
no, man. These are words that
Judah
most
said
Black
he
Americans.
said he doesn't like Gambian food. Gambian food is bomb. What Gambian food can he say he doesn't like?
I was talking
He
of the
said,
okra, but this
yeah, you see.
zongo. These are the words that
Wait,
most
let me
African
read
Americans
this.
use.
Let me read this to Rasmus. Mimi's over here, you know, turning me into a KKK member, talking about Soninkes are very. He said Soninkes are very prejudiced tribe. Rasmus. They barely marry other tribe unless you're Fulani because they love light skin. Mimi, you see now you're gonna give the blacks something to say. They're going.
Oh wow! So
No,
there's discrimination in Africa now between dark skin and light skin Africans.
no, she's trying to say my tribe is prejudiced unless if you're Fulani, if you're light skinned Fulani, then we approve of you. Rasmus, what do you believe that?
Yeah, but that's true. Most Africans like white
Hey,
people.
hey, listen, Mimi is from that region. Like, she's an expert, so she would know. I don't really know, but
She's
No,
from
from
we just love
from the Sonenkis that
this.
I've seen
They
a lot
just
of
love the
Sonenkis.
fullers. They just love the fullers. It's not because of their light skin. Get it
I don't
right.
know about that because, like, from my experience, like, I've seen a lot of Sonenkis. Like, they look like very South Sudanese to me. Like, they dark skin,
Yes, there is something.
especially those from Mali.
Right.
From the Mali region, they
Right.
look very, very, very dark skinned. So
Yeah, she's talking.
maybe in the Gambia they mix with the Fulani because they're trying to get a lighter shade. But
Nah.
the other ones that I've seen, they are very jet black.
Yeah, they are dark like me, right?
Yeah, the Fulani in my country they are light skinned as well, man. But the thing is, it's hard to find a person from the south that married a Fulani because they are mostly in cattle, man. We believe that I don't know. I'm not gonna say
Well,
the word, but
Judah, you missed the other show. You missed because when I read the newspaper where the African American woman in Gambia that took the guy to the Motel 6. It was a fuller guy,
oh
and
wow,
she's over there running trains on them, and then she didn't
oh
she
really?
didn't pay her bill and disappeared. You gotta watch the show before this. I said, "Where's Judah when you need him?"
Oh,
So
man.
so Judah, the Fulanis are not only with the cattle, they are fixing, Black American women over there right
Wow,
now.
that's good. That's
Huh?
good. It means Jude is being paid now to come on platform. So I'm now
Wait, wait. Judah's been paid to come to platforms? Who's
to come to platforms to talk. So you have to actually pay me. Like if you need me for me to come and make a
Uh,
speech.
well, we didn't need you. That's why the show went on. I said it would have been nice to have, since you are an expert in that, we would have loved to have you in and have Al also, so
Hey,
we
what
can
happened? Where's Al? Where's Al?
over there in the
Oh man, what
UK
happened to Al, man? I haven't seen Al
drinking,
for a long time. He's been on
drinking
search for.
tea, drinking tea. Hold on, guys. We have Josie go. Josie, are you there? Josie, are you good now?
Where's Al and Mad
Yeah,
Dog?
I'm good now.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Josie.
Yeah, I'm
Josie,
good
what do
now.
you
Can you
think?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Good thing somebody from South Africa calling in. So
Oh,
Josie,
I thought he was from Somalia.
no, Josie's from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josie, what do you think about
Okay. Yeah.
how what these people are making a fuss about the white South African claiming his country where he's from? You as a South African,
Look.
do you guys consider whites, part of
I think.
South Africa?
Okay. Let me explain the whole process, like how we see it.
Yeah.
Look, we do see them as South African, but of course we don't see them as genetically African.
Right.
But of course they're South African, and of course they've created their own culture here, like a subculture, and we have to acknowledge that. So they can't be genetically African, just like a person, like an Asian person can't be genetically, let's say, North
African.
American. But in
Mhm.
terms of nationality, in terms of like cultures, because they've even adopted some of our own cultural practices, and they also eat a lot of our cultural dishes.
Wait.
Like kebab and
So,
so on.
so this guy is wrong to say when he was saying these people they don't even claim that culture or embrace it. But I've seen videos like some of these whites they speak any of the other languages, the local languages. They eat the food. They are just like South Africans.
Yes, look, the reality is this: is that especially people that come from rural South Africa, white people from rural South Africa, they tend to be able to speak African languages, and they speak it better than some of the, let's say, kids from the cities like myself, because they're around the native people, like deep in the villages. So that is true. But even in the cities, the big cities, a lot of them, even though most of them can't speak the languages, they do eat a lot of our dishes. Look, there is a subculture that they've created in this country that we need to acknowledge. So the Afrikaners, of course, with them, they're not just Dutch. They also have German ancestry, they have French ancestry. They're kind of like a mixed breed of white people. Let's say someone like myself. So my dad is obviously is Xhosa, my mom is Tswana. Like when I'm around other Xhosa people, because I have a Xhosa name and surname, let's say people who come from like where Xhosa people come from in South Africa, they might not necessarily see me as like a pure Xhosa person, if you get what I mean. You African, so
Right.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Same
And
with white
Josie,
people.
like these white people, like these people were saying, thinking like a white South Afrikaner can just leave and go to Netherlands, Holland, and claim to be from that country. Like that's they're not gonna accept it.
100%.
Yeah.
Not just Afrikaners, including like the English speakers. They also can't. There's a limit. Let's use the Englishman, like the English speaking white South Africans. What people don't like talking about is that those that have been here for like hundreds of years, they can't just go back there and claim. Many of them have been deported. They've tried to do this whole thing like the crazy ones, but you can't just go there. Like not just them, Portuguese white South Africans, Italian white South Africans. It's not just Afrikaners. They can't just go to a foreign country because they share the same lineage as them and just live there or just be accepted. These laws tend to have like a limit. Like I think if you're like more than third generation, like let's say it stops at the third generation, your grandmother or great grand, like only like the recently immigrated ones. Let's say if your
Yeah.
grandparents immigrated like to South Africa in the 60s, maybe in the 40s, but the ones who've been here for hundreds of years, which is the majority of them, they can't do that.
Well, just like even on this podcast right here, like this guy here, Gabs, he was born and raised in America, but his parents are Ugandans. Osha is born and raised in America too, but this guy was able to, go to Uganda and just claim being Ugandan easily, right? Even though he was born and raised here. Same scenario with Osha, but because Osha's people
Thomas,
have been
like I just need After Thomas.
Okay,
I just
go
need
ahead.
to do something quickly. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, that's South Africa. The
The
alarms.
guy needs to take his chicken in the cage, man. All those chickens were screaming.
Judah.
Go ahead, Afrodamas. We're listening to the analogy.
Yeah. Over here. Hold on.
What I believe is when Africans see people such as myself or you don't qualify because there are certain things you don't do every day to qualify for being African. That's how they look at you. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but it can't just be genetics, because if that was the case, when we get here, it wouldn't be, I won't say it's Uganda's welcoming, thank God, but it's not a qualifying factor. So what qualifies somebody to be an African, and what determines that? Outside of genetics and DNA and phenotype. That's something we can't solve. And that's the problem we have in the black world. What qualifies you to be African, and what do you need to do every day? Do you got to have 4 wives? Do you got to wear sandals? Can you wear Jordans? What do you got to do? That's what I want to know.
There's a few points I'd like to raise, if I may.
Yeah, please.
So the first point I want to make was something similar to this. Was an MMA fighter. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So the MMA fighter, I'm going to mispronounce his name. From South Africa, name is Driscus or something like that. He was saying, there's 3 African champions.
This is what Judah was talking about. The South African MMA fighter. Judah, is that the same story?
Yeah, that's the same story. Yeah, he was the one that made that statement about him being a true African, why the others were not. That's why the debate came in.
Okay, let's hear what he says.
In the UFC, I think there's 1 left now. 2 have lost their belts. It was Kamaru Usman, Francis Ngannou, and Israel Adesanya. So this white South African man, based in South Africa, says, I am the only one based on the continent. I'm bringing the belt. If I win the belt, I'm bringing it back to Africa. I'm the only one in Africa, fighting out of Africa, training in Africa.
There's other guys in Australia.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Israel is born in Lagos, raised in New Zealand.
Loves white girls.
Usman is raised in America, and Francis Ngannou, Senegal, I believe, to France.
Francis is not Senegalese. He's
Hold on. Judah, you want to clear that?
I want to clear that Francis is not Senegalese. He's a Cameroonian. So that guy is dumb. Anyway, go ahead.
Are you sure Ngannou is from
now,
Cameroon?
Just getting the clip. He may have done a part 2 and explain himself more. I don't know. But this guy shows that I've got time for him, because when it all kicked off, he was like, listen. I know what I look like. I know what I sound like. I know what my heritage is. I weren't saying I was African. I weren't saying I was an African champion. I'm just saying I live here on the continent. I train here on the continent. And if I win the belt's coming back to the continent. These other guys can't say that. And he clarified it. Yeah, he clarified.
All right. So he's got a point there. Okay. Who do we have here?
I'm here, man. I mean, that was what I was saying, man. The guy lives on the continent. He trains on the continent. He comes to America and fight, and he has win belt, and he goes back to Africa, to South Africa. So if he wins the belt that he's the next good fight that he has, it means, is he winning the belt for African? Yes, of course, because he lives on the continent. So he's winning the belt for African.
Hold on. We have a guest in there. Kabiru, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So Kabiru, what makes one an African?
Okay, let me tell you this. You
That's
were
a sick
listening to
video, man.
Afro Beats last week, right? You
Right.
play Afro Beats in this store? Yes or no?
Who?
Okay,
You talking to
so
me?
I guess
Who's that?
an African, since she plays Afro Beats in this store, right?
Yeah.
About how many hours do you play your Afro Beats at this store?
Multiple times,
Oh,
maybe like 3-4 hours.
okay, 3-4 hours Afro Beats. Okay, can you name me an Afrobeat artist that can consider being an African?
Kabiru, what are you wearing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm wearing army uniforms.
Army uniform.
Bob
Yeah.
Marley.
Are you? Is this like a costume party? Are you going to like a costume party?
I'm dressed for 80 degrees of heat and no gas flaring. Yeah.
What's that in your nose?
It's music that she's playing today at
No,
Boost
in your
Mobile.
nose. In your nose.
What's in my nose? I'm having an operation tomorrow. They're gonna add plastic to my nose and change my nose. So I have to wear this bull ring.
Wait, you're gonna change your nose to what? Like Michael Jackson nose?
They gotta put in more plastic into my nose. So it's new technology. They add plastics kind of like these. Like these, they add plastic.
To your nose.
Yes, to my nose. So
And
like
why
the
is that?
places, pardon me?
Are you trying to outdo being a black person, a Negro?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I it's technology. So it wasn't around when black people were black people. It's new technology. It's
Wait.
called rhinoplasty.
Rhinoplasty.
Yeah, but they add rubber to your nose.
Are you a rapper? Where are you from? What country are you in?
Who, man? I'm in
Hawaii.
Oahu. I'm in the
Oahu.
state of Oahu.
Well, we're still black, right?
Yes, you cannot change your ethnicity.
Okay. Just making sure. So Kabiru, you saying just listening to Afro beats made that woman white? Oh no, African.
African.
She's are you white?
No, she's Asian. Isn't she Hawaiian?
Are you white?
Oh,
Can you tell them
she's
that
probably
you're?
native. She's a native Hawaiian.
Can you tell them what ethnicity you are? Because they think that
she's Hawaiian.
Yeah, she's a native Hawaiian.
She's a native Hawaiian.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And she plays Afro beats here, but today she's playing native Hawaiian music.
Okay, so she decided not to be Nigerian today. That's good.
Well, the thing that makes her native Hawaiian is that you won a lottery for where you stay, right? The apartment building that you stay. So she won a lottery for the apartment building that she stays because here she's native Hawaiian. So that's like being Native American.
Okay, hold on, Kabiru. We'll come back to you. Let's bring in Josie here Josie's from South Africa. He was talking.
Hi.
Go ahead, Josie.
Yeah, look.
All
I
right,
think some people
apartheid.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I think some people over exaggerate these things. I think some people have serious issues with white people. Look, historically, yeah, sure, but a lot of black South Africans see white South Africans as South African. I mean, they have their own accent, accents, which is unique to them. You can tell an English-speaking white South African accent. You can tell an Afrikaner accent when they speak English. Some of them have invented their own language, which is Afrikaans, like the Afrikaner, which is Dutch, but mixed with other languages, including African languages. That's something no one talks about. So it's
Okay,
that.
so it's mixed.
It's a mix. It's Dutch, but it's not 100% Dutch. German. It has some, and of course, it has indigenous African language influence as well. So yeah, and of course, even culturally.
But isn't it
Even
weird?
culturally.
It is the
Go ahead.
Western blacks who are taking offense to this. Just they want to compare. They believe since these people are white, cannot claim being African. I know when the guy say African, I know exactly what he means. It doesn't mean DNA wise he's like African, but he's born and raised in South Africa. They've been there for generations.
Which is true.
Which is true, right?
Which is true. Yeah, which is 100% true. Because he is born and raised in South Africa. His family has been here in South Africa multiple generations. Sure, like, look, are there historical issues that came with that? Yes, that is a fact.
Right.
But right now, the kid is South.
Josie, are you there? Oh man. Josie, are you there? Oh man, I don't know what happened to Josie.
That South African network is a problem, man. It's like my own network in the state.
Well, I was gonna say, Julia, you are the last person to talk that that network thing.
Yeah, I have a question for
Right.
Judah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Judah. He
Oh
just
man,
said
what should
that.
I say, man? I mean,
Okay,
it's
hey,
gonna
Judah,
be same old.
listen, Judah. You said that
Oh,
you're
go
gonna
ahead, Rashid.
You say you're gonna send us back somewhere. You said that earlier. You
The
send
Somalis?
Somalis and North Africans and all that. You're gonna send out of Africa. You said that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Okay, I will tell you what's wrong with it. You don't even have a country of yourself. You are
What are you talking
Amazonian.
about?
You are Amazonian. You are
I'm a
not a
Cameroonian, bro. What the hell are you talking about? My country
You
is
don't have a
Cameroon. What
country
the hell are you
of
talking?
your own. How you gonna
So
send
what?
someone who own a country, who's sitting in the United Nations, who's sitting in African Union, who's sitting in Arab League? How you gonna send someone like that who own their own
I
country,
wanna,
own
I wanna,
military?
I wanna ask you a question.
You
Is
don't even
Somaliland
own a country. You are Amazonian.
is Somaliland a country?
Somaliland is part of Somalia.
I'm asking you, is Somaliland a country?
Somali is a Somali. Doesn't matter where they
I'm
are. There's one
asking you a
tribe. We are one
question. I'm
tribe.
asking, is Somaliland a
No, we are
country?
one
Yes
tribe.
or no?
We are one tribe.
I'm asking you I'm asking you a question. Is
No, I'll ask you
Somaliland
first.
a country?
Answer my question. Then I will answer to you.
My question is: once a country has not been
No, hold on.
acceptable, you are still under.
First
Now, let me
answer
answer.
to
What the
me,
heck is
and
this
then I
guy?
will answer.
Slow down. Slow down. This is my thing. When a country has not been finally acceptable, it's still under a particular country. So why now? No matter how I find myself, I'm still a Cameroonian, but I'm an Amazonian. The same way as Somaliland is still under Somalia. But this is the thing. When we talk of blacks are people that inhabited all these countries. They were chased out. They were
Okay, do you have a
taken
proof
as
for that?
slaves.
Do you have a
And
proof?
let me finish. You're gonna talk. You talk a lot. Africans, blacks were the ones that were raped by Muslims and Arabs. And the people that look different are the people that became Somalians and all these North Africans. So they consider the Bantus are not being from Somalia, but these people were the original Africans in Somalia, the Bantus. But they got chased out of their homeland. Their own ancestors
Okay,
got
let me know
raped,
when you finish.
and the
Then I will answer
Somalians
to you.
came. So what I'm saying is, us the black, we want to make black Africa black again. So we have to chase all these non-Moroccans, North Africans, and the Somalians back to their homeland, which is Saudi Arabia and Yemen and Oman. That's where they came from.
Okay,
That's
you
where we
finish.
have to take them to.
Okay, you yourself said that you're from somewhere from Egypt. You claim that, right? You claim you came from Israel. You are from Judea,
Yeah,
something
we
like that.
Bantus. That was our
Okay,
land. Black
okay.
Bantus. I'm not talking about the Arabs that you see. The black Bantus were there.
Hold on. You yourself said that. You said that you came from somewhere else.
Right.
But we never claimed that. But you claim you came from somewhere else. You say
Right.
you came from Egypt somewhere, or you came from
Right,
Israel,
because the Arabs
right?
got chased us out. The
Okay.
Arabs got chased
Okay.
us out. But
hold on. Okay. Let me ask you another thing.
Somalians claim most of them have DNA that claims Arabs. If you don't know, most
That's our
DNA in
look.
Somalia
Somali.
is Arabs.
Look, Somali. We claim that as a convenient. We claim if you
Oh,
want, we
come on,
claim.
come on now.
We claim
I
that
do not claim Arab. I do
as a
not claim
convenient.
Arab.
We
I do
claim
not claim.
black as a convenient. We you know we claim
That's why we
Arab
have to
as a
chase you
convenient.
guys out
So,
of Africa
Hold
because
on,
we are
hold on, hold
Somali.
on, hold on,
for
hold on. I
you to
got a
be
question.
for
Wait,
you
I
to
got
be
a
African,
question.
you have to be black. But if you
Hold
are
on,
not
hold
black,
on,
you are
Jude,
not
Jude,
African. So we have to
Jude,
chase you guys
Jude,
out.
Jude. I have
Let
a
him ask me a
question.
question. Stop.
Hold on, I have a question. Hey, Josie, for example, you're from South Africa. Jude is saying they're gonna kick out all non-Africans out of Africa, including the
For you
white
to be
South
African,
Africans.
you have to be
So, do
black.
you think?
For you to be
Wait,
African, you have to be black.
Josie, do you think that's possible for him to be able to kick out the whites from South Africa, like he's claiming?
Hold on, wait. Thomas, like I was busy doing something. Can you please repeat what was said? I missed
Judas
what was
said,
happening.
Judas claiming that he's gonna kick all non-black skinned Africans out of Africa, including the white South Africans and Somalis. And so
Okay,
what
look.
do you
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You're gonna kick them out, let's say, but where are you gonna take them? No one wants poor. Let me give you an example. The average white
You don't
person
have
in
to
this
take them
country.
nowhere. You clean
Just
them
hold
out
it.
immediately.
Let me
What
just
happened in
finish.
Germany? Either they chase out and find a
Judah,
homeland
let me
out of
just finish.
Africa.
Judah, wait,
Let
Judah,
me
wait.
just finish. Look, here's the deal, right? The reality is this: you're gonna kick them out, but where to? Because they're gonna just return them. So, look, they're stuck here. You can't kick anyone out here. That's a citizen, especially a citizen that's
When
been here for
Germans
generations.
kick out the Jews, where did they find themselves? They find
Oh,
themselves
jeez.
somewhere
They
else.
didn't
They
kick
have
them
to find
out.
somewhere else.
So you're talking that system? Is that what you're saying?
And this is what is wrong with
Wait,
Africans
wait,
because
no,
Africans
Judah.
are
Wait,
saying,
wait,
"Oh,
wait.
where will they go?" Why do you have
Hold
pity
on,
for people that
hold
do
on,
not look like
hold
you?
on, Judah.
These
Wait,
dumb
Judah.
Africans, man. Why you have
Judah.
pity for people that do not look like
Wait,
you, man? Come on.
Judah. Are you suggesting 1940s Europe?
Exactly. Things have to happen in Africa for things to
What?
change. You cannot. Africa is black.
Okay, let
You cannot
me
have people
thank
that are
this
not
guy.
black claiming
Okay,
to be
wait.
all
No,
these
Judah
things.
is a flip
Judah,
flop.
I
These
don't
people
know.
have to
Hold
be
on.
cleaned out.
Hold on. This is serious. Hold on. Kwaku said, Judah, please drop the sources for this information we want to research. Thank you, Kwaku. So, Judah, Kwaku wants the sources to your history you are giving, this history lessons you are giving here. So okay, Judah, what you're suggesting, don't you find that a bit extreme?
No, it's not extreme Afridemos. It's only Africans that have a mentality of how do they call it? How do you call
But
these
Somalis
thing
are
that
Africans, though. Okay, where would you send them to?
see
Josie
Afridemos,
asked a good question.
Afridemos, you can be African, quite all right, but you are not black. The people that have that continent are black people.
Fine.
It's
Where
not
will you
easy. That's
take
what I'm
them
saying.
to?
When Germans wanted to chase the Jews, Germans did not say,
Oh,
"Oh, where will we take these people to?"
wait a
It is
minute.
not. It
Hold
wasn't the
on.
Germans. Let me finish. It wasn't the Germans that were asking themselves, "Where will we take
Okay,
these people to?"
fine.
No,
Look,
it was the Jews that were asking themselves, "Where will we go if this happened to us?" You shouldn't be asking me that question. You should be asking the Somalians. They have a homeland called Oman. They will be going over there. The ones that are
where
asking
Oman?
themselves, "Why will they know
Somalis
this
are not
black?"
from Oman. What are you talking about?
Oman and Yemen. This is
Oman
where
is
their
Arab
people are.
country.
Right, that is the Middle East. That's where they
Judah,
came from. That's their
Judah,
ancestors.
what kind of
They
weed
should
you
go
smoke
there.
today? What kind of weed you
That's
have
their
smoked today?
homeland.
Hey, Judah,
The ones in Algeria will be going to
hey,
Saudi
Judah,
Arabia.
Judah, I have
The
a
one
question.
in
What kind of
Somalia will
weed
be
you
going to
had today?
Yemen and Oman.
Judah, what kind of weed you had today? What kind of weed you smoked today? What's the name of the weed you have smoked today? Because your mind is not correct. You're saying that Oman is in Arabia. You know, Oman is a different country. What are you talking about?
That's why I say you can be a different
What you can
country.
say,
Your
what you
country
can
is
say
your
to
land
someone,
is not. You can
have
be
Cameroon,
African, but you are
you
not
have
black.
a
Black
dictatorial
people.
regime in your own country.
Africa is
Fix
for
your own
Africa
land
is for
first.
black people.
Hold on,
Africa
Judy,
is not
hold
for
on.
mix. It's
Let me
not
answer.
for white.
Hold on.
It's not for
Hold
Arabs.
on.
It's not. Africa is for black people.
Cameroon, you have a Bolbia who's sitting there for 50 years. 50 years. Why don't you do something about him first before you're talking about other Africans?
What is your point? I don't know what sense you're talking about,
My
young
point
man. You
is,
sit quiet. Let me lecture you on things. You don't talk.
You can't even do anything about your own country. I don't want peace. When you talking about
I
other
want
African
problems always.
Talking about we have to make
See how
Africa
weak you
black
are.
again. Take out these people. And if you are not
See
black, you are
how
not
weak you
African.
are,
You have to be
Jude.
black to be African. And that's a fact. Call me
There
what
is
it
not.
is,
Look,
but we
Africa
have to
is a
take you guys
continent.
out.
Look, Africa is a continent. You live in your area. We live in our area. Africa is just a land. It's just a land, flat land.
We cannot have
Big
people that
island.
believe in a
You live
different
in your area.
religion,
I live in my
believe
own
in a
area.
different
What we
mindset.
have to do? We
Africa
have
is
nothing
not
to
like
do.
that.
Look, Africa is like that.
Okay,
No,
guys,
we
guys, hold
connected.
on, guys, hold on, hold on. Let me have Josie do a closing statement, and you guys can continue. Josie, you want to do a closing statement?
Yeah, look, I think like what we've been noticing over time, even including here, even in South Africa, is that some people, some of them, of course, diasporans, want some sort of thing where they can just go to a country or just make it easier for them to move around the continent. Not just them, even including some Africans. But one thing that I've seen, even with white South Africans, is this: look, most countries, including Europe, want someone that can add value into their country. They don't want just some random person or person they don't know, even if you share the same lineage as them, to just walk into their country. So lineage is not enough. Like going into someone's country or immigrating, even if you share the same lineage as them, you need to understand that that country right now has its own problems. They've got their own things that they need to be dealing with. So they can't just accept any person just to come into their country. So someone being white in South Africa, let's say of English descent, and has been here for 400 years, can't just go to the UK and just expect them just to accept him and just live amongst them for free without them getting something out of it. So yeah, that's all I
You're 100% right. Thank you for calling in,
Thank you.
Josie.
Bye.
You're absolutely right, guys. I was saying that these people have been in South Africa for 400 years at least. They're not about to just show up in England. You think they're gonna be like, okay, here, Jorgen, here's some English tea and crumpet and baked beans. No, that's not what's happening. They're deporting his ass right back to where he came from. These people don't care. But okay, go ahead, Jude, with your genocidal talking
Oh,
points.
okay. Do you know what the Stockholm Afidemos, do you know what the Stockholm syndrome was?
The what?
The Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, yes.
Yeah. It was I think it was a syndrome where these white Europeans who have
When you fall in love with your oppressor.
right, they fall, their oppressors was treating them really bad, but they came out and just fall in love with them. And this is the same thing I'm seeing on the African continent. Blacks have been dealt for on the continent for so long, they have been mistreated, right? And
But who
now
is
all of a sudden,
mistreating Jude? Again, what
when
you
I
are,
talk of the mistreatment, you don't
but
really
Jude,
know. You just feel like now everything is normal. But
Rashid's got a point though. He said,
bro,
how you gonna claim to do this, but you can't even win in Amazonia yet.
A lot of people have done this. I mean, and
But
things
you
have
haven't
changed
even
in that.
won. You haven't even won the battle in your
This is the
backyard.
thing. I'm not just talking about Ambazania. I'm talking about
That's
blacks.
true.
I'm talking about blacks. Blacks. If you are not black, you are not African.
But that's
Africa
not
is a
real though.
continent for black.
So
Africa
wait.
is a continent for black people. If you are not black, you are not African. So this is the thing. I'm
Jude,
calling on black people to unite, to chase out people that are non-blacks. Not Africans have to go. Somalis have to go. The white South Africans have to leave. They happen in Germany. It happened in different countries. Why it happened in China? Chinese chased out dark
So
Indians
so
from their
so so
territory.
would you also accept when the whites unite and chase all of us
Of
out
course,
of white country?
that's what has to happen. That's what
So
that's what has
you're
to
willing,
happen.
wait, you're willing to give up the Mormon chicks?
Africans should go back to their natural
Well, you
habitat.
didn't answer that part. You're willing to give up the Mormon
Of
chicks?
course, it's gonna be a point in time when I'm gonna give out my American and go back home and take on the mantle. We have to make Africa black again, and that's what is gonna happen. Make Africa black again
But
from north to
earlier you
south,
said
east to west.
But earlier, Judah, earlier you said the white guy was an African.
The
Yes,
why was
yes,
that? But it's just for a time. It's just for a time being. What is happening now is just for a time being. It's not gonna last.
Judah
People
came out
cannot
when
come
his
into your
racism.
place and
Judah,
claim it.
your racist
It
came
doesn't
out.
happen that way.
Judah, racist came out when you saw the white South African guy. You switched right away after you saw him. Your racist came out.
Oh wait, Rashid. So Rashid, you're suspecting that he
Yeah,
did not know
as soon as the
until
white
when
guy
he
saw
saw
him,
the white guy.
he switched to racism right there. Before he was
Right,
white South African, and after he saw the white guy from South Africa, he switched to racism.
This is the thing. If you ask Rashid if he is black, he's not gonna tell you he is black. He's gonna turn you
I am
around,
black
spin you
after
around.
opinion. When I want, I say I'm black. When I don't say I'm black because I don't identify myself as a black.
There you
I
go. There
identify
you go.
as
People that
I
have that
identify
problem, we
myself
always
as
tell
a
you they don't
Somali.
identify
That's it.
as black because they have a problem. But if you ask me and you if I'm black, of course I'm just gonna
I
say I'm
don't
black
no because
because
I
I'm
don't want to
black.
say my color because people they can see
There
me.
you
I
go.
don't have to identify a
Okay,
color.
fine. You know what, guys?
There you
We
go.
have
So that's the problem. If you cannot
Elon got his
identify yourself
dashiki
as
on
black,
and called
you
in.
have
Look,
to go.
Judah, thanks a lot. You've pissed off Elon. Now all the, now you got a white African, a pure white African calling in.
Pure
Go ahead,
African.
Elon.
Is
You
this
got you have plenty of money. You have technology, but here's a man saying they need to, turn the place into, 1930s, Germany, Africa. Putting people in trains and deporting them. If you know what I mean, the drift here. So what do you say to this?
I just have a question. Is this the guy that lives in Utah, Judah?
Yeah, he is. That's him.
Judah, you want to kick white people out of Africa, but you live in Utah, the whitest place on the planet. If you were flown to Moscow, you would be in a less white area than Utah. What? You are a walking contradiction.
He ran from his own black people.
You're like a
all the way
black
to there.
supremacist with a white girlfriend. You should just.
What you fail to understand is
You're going to kick whites out of Africa, but you're in USA. You're in the whitest place on the planet.
I am an immigrant in America. You
But you went to the white area.
claiming to
Why
be
you say you're
African,
black?
but you are
Black
not.
neighborhood.
The people that we are claiming to be, the people that are claiming to be African are the people that have taken on African lands that need to go. I'm not saying immigrants should come to. No, that's not the problem.
No, Judah, he's asking. Judah,
lands need to go.
Okay.
No, Judah, he's asking you.
So here's my question. Okay, I want to understand where you stand because this is so confusing for me.
It don't matter where I stay.
I am pure African. Do you want to kick me out of Africa?
I kick you out of Africa because you have claimed a land that does not belong to you. So you have to take it out. You can come as an immigrant.
Okay. Can I speak, Judah? Have you studied? Where are you from? Cameroon? Have you studied your history?
He's from Amazonia.
Where is he from?
Amazonia. It's a land that he claimed. He wants to get independent from Cameroon, but he couldn't get the independence. He's crying.
I've never heard of it, but you know I'm from Africa.
Well, Mr. Elon, Judah, we can understand. I think Judah wants his own country, but he can't even win that battle.
He should start by leaving America first off, because I am an African American, Africa first, mind you. But I love America, and Africa is for all people.
So you are African American claiming to be white South African. You see, these.
Well, he's African American.
Dual citizenship, like African.
You're fake because show your face. Show us who you are. Let me.
No, but do that. His picture is on his thing right
No,
there.
that's a fake
I'm
picture.
wearing my
Epidemics.
traditional
Everybody can
African
put a
clothes.
picture in who he is.
Hold on,
Show your face.
but
Show your video.
Judah, why do you what you see?
What do you want to do?
Why are you
Kill me?
attacking why are you attacking your fellow African? See
No,
the
he's
other
not,
people.
because
You
he's
did
an
not
African
demand.
American. He's an
Yeah.
African American. He's not a white South African.
I am
Show your face,
African,
brother.
and I have dual citizenship. Now I am
No,
African
you're American.
Emphasis
Stop
on the
claiming that you are
African.
not African. So you shut the fuck up. Show your face if you want to be real.
Well, Judah,
Don't
Judah,
claim
be
you're
nice
African.
to
You
your
are not white
fellow.
South African.
Why,
You are
why,
not.
are you, why are you talking to me this
You
way?
are
I
a
don't
mixed breed.
understand.
African
We're
does
from
not
the
accept
same
mixed breed
continent,
anyway.
brother.
You are a mixed breed.
My
Your
brother.
families got raped in America. So you shut up and you live in the state anyway. So
No, Judah,
don't say
Judah,
African
wait a
America.
minute. Judah, let me ask you.
You
Let
know
me
you
ask
say
you this. Hold on. Judah, let me ask you this. So, Judah, if a white South African comes to America and they naturalize, become American citizens,
He's South African
and
American.
isn't the person African American?
no. I mean, the white South African is not African American.
No, but
He's
he's
not
an
black.
African American.
No,
He's
he
African
No,
he's
American.
but
South African.
okay, wait, okay. Is Kaepernick African American?
No, he's not. He's not.
Is Rachel Dolezal African American?
Afidemos, let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. What we consider African Americans in America is different from African continent. African continent, once you are mixed, you are not even, they don't consider you black in Africa in most countries that I know,
Look,
especially
Africa
in
is not a Bantu. You are
I'm
just a
telling you for a
Bantu.
fact.
It's a tribe. You
Now,
are just
let
in a
me
tribe
finish.
of Africa.
Young man, you shut up.
You are
Young
just
man,
in a
stay quiet.
Bantu.
I'm talking.
You live
Rashid,
in an
I'm
area.
talking.
That's
Stay
all you
quiet.
are.
Rashid,
Come on,
stop.
man.
Stay
Come on, man.
quiet.
You can't even have your
Rashid,
own
stay
country,
quiet. Let me
Amazonia.
make a
But
point.
You can't get
This
independent.
Do you think?
do you know
Judah,
that
wait.
do you know that on applications they call North Africans white on applications in America? Do you know that? Do you know that when they say black, they
No, they
exclude
don't.
North Africans? Do you know
No,
that?
they
Judah, you
don't.
are
What you
hating
No, they
white,
no?
don't.
and you
What you
live in
mean
a
they
white
don't?
state. Come on,
No, they don't.
Have you seen job applications?
Yes.
Have you seen job? Man, you shut up. You don't know anything. On job applications, it says
When
if
you
you are
apply
from
for
any one
Tesla,
of
we
these
don't ask that kind
sub-Saharan
of question.
African countries, you identify as black or African American.
No, I
Not
don't say.
Africans are considered
I
as
don't
white
identify myself.
on
I just
American
identify
job
myself.
applications. What the hell
So
are you talking about?
Judah, let me Judah. But what you're trying to do, you think if because you're going against the Somalis, the white South Africans, all those not like the people with the strongest armies. Like, how you planning on pulling this
He
off?
doesn't even own a country, Amazonia.
Bro,
He's still a
this guy on the
He's still a
panel calling
crybaby.
himself South African, he's not. He's a black American with
No,
a mixed
look,
breed,
he's South
calling
African.
himself
He owns a
white in
country.
Africa. He's not.
Judah,
He's not.
if the man has a South African accent. Ilan,
Come
can you
on,
say
man.
something?
Come on,
Ilan,
bro.
say something.
Anybody can pull up
Wait.
an accent, man. What the hell are
Wait,
you
hold on,
talking
hold
about?
on,
Let me
hold
show
on,
you
hold
the
on.
face.
I have a question for
They
you.
speak
If you
Afrikaner.
studied your history, the only reason you're alive is because your people enslaved, raped, pillaged, and killed others. Everyone has done it throughout history. Does it make you feel better when someone who looks like you enslaves, rapes, and kills you and takes your land? Or does it bother you when they look a little bit less pigmented? What is the problem, Judah?
The problem is your own ancestors got raped and they gave you a product that look just like you. I'm even important because we fought for it and our ancestors never got raped. So your pigmentation is as a result of rape. And in Africa, you are even more considered as a sellout or albinos. We use people like you for rituals, people that look just like you. And you can take it like that. I'm not going to talk much, but I'm not going to spend more time talking to a white guy who claims to be a South African.
You're in Utah. You should just leave United States if you hate us so much. What's the problem?
Dylan, this guy, he used to live in a black neighborhood in Indiana, and then he moved to Utah. He was running from black people. He went to the white state. So if you hate white people, why you go to Utah? Why don't you stay with the black people?
I do not hate white people. I live with white people. That's why I live close to them. I
No,
live
you
in this
flip
state.
flop, man. When you saw the white
The
South
problem
African,
is I
you
have a
immediately
You
problem
just
for
said you were
people.
going to kill me
came
because
out,
I'm
man.
white.
You are not. I have a problem for people like these ones that want to claim Africans, which they are not. Stay in America
Africa
and
is
claim
just a
America.
continent. Come on,
Africans do
Africa
not
is a
But
consider you
Judah,
guys.
How can you call me? First off, I was born in Africa. I was
I don't give
born
an
in
F if
Africa.
you were born there.
Okay, so Judah,
You don't have to show
wait,
if
Judah,
you're
I
African.
remember,
You
Judah,
build that country. You own that country.
wait, Judah, I remember when you said, right, that the blacks, because you know they're black, you did not even accept them. So now if you saying they gotta send all the white people or other people out of Africa, so now if based in blackness, now they gotta send the blacks back, and you know you don't get along with the blacks. Are you willing to accept the blacks in Cameroon?
That's a good question.
Judah, are you there?
Judah is knocked out.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Are you willing to, so you said it's gonna be an exchange.
This is the thing.
Are you going to accept the blacks back?
No,
Wait a minute. You're not gonna accept the blacks back?
No. Africa
Why?
is for black people on the continent.
Okay,
If
then
you are
accept
not
Black
from the
American
continent,
then.
you are not black.
What?
Actually, stay quiet. I'm making a statement.
Wait,
Africa
you said
Why
what?
do you why do you get to go to any continent you want, but I can't? And I was born in Africa, by the way. So you go wherever
Africa
you want,
is
but
for
I can't go to where I was
Africa.
born. Is that the rule?
Africa.
Answer what Afradamus was
I
asking.
was born in Pretoria. Look it up.
Bro, I don't give an F if you were born in Joburg or you were born in Cape Town. These are places that I'm familiar with. I have more South African friends than you do. You probably have only Muzungus, but I have more South African friends than you do. But this is my point. Africa is for black people on the continent. If you are not from that area,
Wait, so what about the Jamaicans?
What is USA
What about
for?
Jamaicans? Wait, Elon, let's ask him this. So he's saying it's about skin color. So what about the blacks?
Jamaicans have their country. The blacks in America have America. That's their country. Let me tell you, the slave trade is far
Blazungus?
gone.
The Blazungus?
The Black Zungus, they have a mindset of Zungus, so they should stay in America and claim it. The
Okay,
slave trade has been abandoned.
so what about the
Nobody talks
Somalis?
about
The
it anymore.
Somalis are Africans.
The Somalis have to go to Yemen and Oman. That's their homeland. The North Africans have to go to Saudi Arabia. The white South Africans have to go back to Europe
Who do you think
and
is
let
talking to me
blacks
like that?
invade
How are you
all
going to
these
kick everyone
countries
out of
and
Africa
places.
when you're in Utah?
The Germans did the same. The Germans did the same thing. The Germans did the same thing and chased the Jews out.
Oh, wait, Judah.
How do you kick everyone out of Africa when you're in Utah? You're in the center of USA, and you want to kick whites out of Africa. You're the only black in Utah right now, and you want to kick.
We're gonna be working on the ground. You know, from South Africa, we have people on the ground that we start stimulating all these areas.
Judah, this would be.
You were such a liar, Judah. You're nothing. You're nothing, Judah. You're nothing. You're lucky the whites accept you. If they heard anything you'd say, they'd kick you out of their state. Even Mormons can't save you, Judah. Even Mormons can't save you. You want to kick the whites out of Africa? Then go back to Africa. Amami Africa.
Somalia is already divided between the Bantus and the North Somalians. That's why the people that are claiming Somaliland are the Arab Somalians. The ones that are claiming
leave the Somalis alone. They didn't do anything to you. Why do you hate Somalis so
much? We have
much?
to take the whole land back, and we have to take the whole Somaliland back. You know, and we have to make South Africans and Africa black again. That's just my point.
But Elon, do you hear what he said? He said it's about skin color.
Black, but he's getting all the white girls in Utah pregnant right now. So please explain to me that.
But also he's saying that the black Americans cannot come. They cannot come to Africa as well. So what is Judah planning?
The Bantu supremacists have to spread all around. If you are black, you have to. I mean,
so how can you do this from
black people?
From Utah.
How can you do this from Utah, Whiteville? Yeah, from Whiteville.
That's what I
Utah's
say.
so white, it makes me uncomfortable.
We're gonna start by causing havoc between these communities. We're gonna set these people up.
Judah,
it's gonna happen in Somalia. It's gonna happen in all these lands. It's gonna happen in Tunisia.
Judah, you talk a lot of. You just talk nothing but lies. You're nobody. You're nothing. You're lucky you got to Utah. You're not going to be anyone. You're not going to do anything. Just be happy in Utah.
You saw what happened in Tunisia, right?
Convert to Mormonism. Learn how to ski. Just lay down next to a white woman like you like, and just be happy. Lay down to two white women like you like, your queen, and just be happy.
Few months ago, the president of Tunisia was chasing out black Africans because he proclaimed that black Africans wanted to dominate the Arabs in North Africa.
He's right.
Hold
on, Judah. Zongo is
the only one you're going to dominate is that white girlfriend laying next to you in bed. So that's all you get to dominate.
He was right to pick the Bantus out of
Oh,
his
he was
country.
right. So Rashid, go ahead. What you say, Rashid?
He was right.
Rashid,
He
no,
was right
hey,
to
Zongo,
kick
Hold
go
on,
ahead,
hold on,
Rashid.
guys. One mic, guys. One mic.
Okay,
Let's
let
hear
me
Jude.
say Afro Damas. The
Right.
Tunisian president was right to kick the Bantus out of his country because
Wow.
because he doesn't come to your country. Why you come to his country?
Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
part
have
of
you
go-
seen any
Africa was all
Tunisian?
Bantu
Have you
land.
seen
We're
any
gonna claim it
Tunisian
back.
in
We're still
West
gonna
Africa?
send people there
No,
to
hold
claim
on.
it.
Have you seen any Tunisian coming to Cameroon? Have you seen?
What the heck
Why
are
you
you
going to
talking
his
about?
country?
Are you
Why
talking
you
about
going to his own
Arabs? These
country?
people
Why
are
you going
Arabs.
to his
These
own
people do
country?
not own the land.
Because he don't want you there. Simple. That's his own
These
country.
people are Arabs. These people do not own
Yeah,
the land.
he
The
lost.
land was
Look,
Bantu
they are
land.
Amazigh.
The land
They
is
belong there.
Bantu
Look,
land
they are Amazigh.
inhabited by
Okay,
Arabs.
hold
You have to
on,
claim
hold
it.
on. Judah, let's allow Zongo. What do you want to say to Chief Bantu here?
I think the reason why the Amazonia is losing the battle in Cameroon is because Judah is right over here in Utah, in the middle of
In the
the
white
snow
in the
bunnies.
white state. In the white state.
The whitest state there is, Utah.
So, Elon, do you think he's saying this, while he's white girl, the white girl is
I
in
know
the.
what I know what the problem is, Afrodamus. The problem is he heard the rumor that white women were just easy to get along with and they just do what you say. And he got a couple white girlfriends and they're just giving him a hard time. And now he doesn't like white women because they're cracking the whip on him. They're probably bending him over and putting a finger in his butt. And now he's mad that he likes it. And now he knows that he's half gay. And he's
I don't
upset with
think
white
so.
people. And he wants to kick them all
I
out of
don't think
Africa.
so.
But his girlfriend bends him over, his white girlfriend bends him over every night with the strap on and puts it in his poop hole.
Alfredemus, you have a Nick on Pooh on the panel who's pushing on some kind of stuff. I don't know. You see, and this is the
No,
thing, the
I don't think
mentality
so.
that we
If
black
Judah was
Africans
really
start.
getting girls, he wouldn't be speaking this way. Trust me.
You see,
I
well, you
know
see, this is
someone
the
who's
mentality when you have mixed bred Africans or mixed white people. These are the kind of mentality that they
I am pure
bring to the
African.
table. You
Pure
see, we
African.
Africans do not talk about these kind of things, right? But you see people like this mentality, these white wannabe Africans or mix are the problem in Africa. These are the people that goes and take all this kind of culture. If this guy was talking close to my phone, I will use him for rituals. If he was
Wait, you will use him for ritual?
I will
Why do you
use him for
threaten me,
rituals.
Judith?
What kind of ritual?
Why do you threaten me?
Because people that look
A
just
gay
like him
sex
are good for
ritual.
my
A
they
gay
are good for
sex
my
ritual. It's
ancestors.
Pride Month,
Okay,
Afrodamus.
guys, let's
He wants
allow.
to use me for a gay sex ritual for Pride Month.
Jeez. Can you? Okay, Zongo, go ahead, Zongo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask Judah a question. I mean, Judah, you were on the panel trying to, set up a criteria who an African is and who isn't an African.
Exactly.
The question I wanted to ask you is that in your so-called country, Amazonia, still struggling to fight for independence, you are mainly fighting. We are mainly fighting because of a white man's language, and yet you claiming someone who is from a white man's land not to be an African, and you yourself you are fighting on behalf of a white man's language.
Man, are you dumb? Are you dumb? I've explained this several times to you, but it seems like you don't get it or you don't listen. Like
Oh, come on,
nobody
man. We
in
know it.
Africa
Come on.
fight
It's
for a
about white
language.
man's language. Come on,
When
shut up. Shut up.
did you know that even in your country, Western Togoland, were fighting to have their own
Shut
country,
up, man.
and they are
Shut
still
up, Judah,
fighting today
man.
because most of their people have been put in jail. Do you know that? You want to
Shut up,
come here and
Judah, man.
school other people? Let me school you on what is happening in your own country. Western
Shut up,
Togoland
Judah.
used to
You
be
don't know
part of
nothing,
Togo.
man.
They are fighting to have their own country. Doesn't mean because of language. No, it's because when people were colonized, different policies were put in place. The French had a system, the English had a system, and that is what is causing confusion between people. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but the
mean people are
Western
fighting
Togoland,
over a
the
language.
Western Togoland are not fighting because of a language.
What you mean?
They are
Because they are
citing. Hold on.
involved in it.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
First, they are citing treaties in the past that was signed between the colonial masters.
So how do you know it's not because of the same treaties that we are talking about? We are talking of two countries that came together in Cameroon to form one country. Two
So
that
where's
had
the
two
treaties?
independent.
You guys
These
are
countries
speaking
have.
about language, English Cameroon and French Cameroon.
But this guy, are you so dumb? I'm telling you about two countries. One was French, one was English. One had independence in 1960, the French Cameroon. The other had independence in
This is all
1961,
Elon's
the
people's
English
fault.
Cameroon. Both came together in
Come
19 to
on,
form two federal states. What the heck are you talking about? They formed
Hey,
two
Judah.
federal states.
Hey,
Let me
Judah.
finish. One was called West Cameroon, which is the
Okay.
English
Okay. Are you
Cameroonian. One
comparing
was
now
called
yourself?
East Cameroon, which
Are
was
you,
French.
Judah? Are you
The two
comparing to
system
yourself?
was dissolved. People are fighting to
Judah.
go back to the original system that was
I mean,
dissolved.
first of all,
Just
in
because,
Ghana, okay. First of all, in Ghana, everybody speak English. There's no like French
but it's
speaking.
because the people have been dissolved into English. You don't have that problem. But I'm telling
Okay,
you
but
about two
nobody's fighting
countries.
over a language.
But
The
they are
people in
fighting over
Western Togo, hold
marginalization
on,
because their own people are marginalizing the people in Western
hold
Togoland.
on. The people in Western Togoland want to fight for their ancestral land. I mean, there's no
Judah, I have a
No, they are
difference.
question.
fighting over
Judah, I have a,
marginalization. They are being marginalized.
Oh
That's
my
the problem.
goodness,
And
hey,
that's the
no
same
man, that's a
issue
lie.
in Cameroon. But
Judah.
because you don't understand it, you think it's
Hold on,
language.
Judah,
It's a
are you being
language.
marginalized in Utah?
No, I'm not being marginalized in Utah because
I
there's
know.
freedom of speech. There's no discrimination. You can take anybody to the law and
So
hit.
Elon,
But this is the thing.
was right. It's about your white
Okay,
girlfriend.
Judah, I have a question.
No,
Hey,
What?
hey,
but when
hey,
you have
hey,
a guy like
Afrodamus, hey,
Zongo
Afrodamus,
who does
Afrodamus.
not
Yeah.
understand who does not
Well, tell that
understand
to a
what
Native
people are
American. He's gonna
fighting
tell
for,
you he's
he
been
called it.
marginalized in this country.
If you what?
If you tell that to a Native American, he's gonna tell you that he's been marginalized in this country.
No.
So you
In
speaking
what country?
here in America,
Yeah, I mean, Black Americans claim to be marginalized, and yeah, people
not a Black
majority.
American. I mean the Native man. I've been to their reservations here in Washington State.
Right. So what has happened? What is your point? Even in
I say
Africa,
you are here
Africans
saying you are
marginalize
not
their
being
own people.
marginalized because you are saying you are not being marginalized because you live in America. But
Right.
you speak to the
If you
hold on.
come to Cameroon, will you say people that are going to Ghana
If
are
you
they being
shut up, you
marginalized? No,
understand
they are
what
not
I'm
from that
talking about.
country.
If
So
you speak
Man,
to the
sometimes
native, if you speak to the
man, you
native,
confuse yourself, man. You don't know nothing, bro. You can't be telling me about Cameroon. You don't know nothing. I can tell you about
no,
history of every country in
Judah,
Africa because I
see,
have facts.
when
I can give it to you on your
When most
platter.
Black Americans say Africans have low IQ, I think you are the epitome of what they're talking about.
The Amazonians low IQ, Amazonian low IQ.
Bro, my
Because
intelligence on
No,
Africa
you
and
do
in
have low
America is not
IQ,
on this
man.
ground, man.
Judah, you do have low IQ.
Oh wow, okay. I mean,
Sometimes,
you can take it away.
So Judah,
power you have.
so Judah, when you kick out the Somalis, who's going to occupy that land?
Oh, Afidemos, we are foreseeing that the population of Black
Who's
Africans
we?
is.
Who's
When I
we?
talk of
Who's
Black
we?
Africans, I'm talking about
Who? No,
the
we. Who's we?
sub-Saharan. We have. Come
Oh.
on, when I talk of
Who's
I'm
we?
talking about Black. Let me finish.
Who's
Who
we?
is this guy talking about?
No,
We,
who's we? I
we,
wanna,
Hold on,
I
we.
wanna know.
Rashid. Let's hear who's gonna take.
When I talk
He's
of
gonna
we, I'm
allocate that
talking about
land.
Bantus.
So who's going to
Bantus. I'm
take
talking
the
about
place? The Somalia, who's going to take there?
Afidemos. That's what I'm telling you. I say we have seen that
Who's
as
we
years
then?
goes
Who's we?
by, the population. When I talk of we, I'm talking of the Bantus, the Nilotics,
Who's
the
Bantu?
Niger
Who's Bantu?
Delta, and
Where is
all these.
Bantu?
The
Where is the
Black.
Bantu?
Oh man, can you shut up and stay quiet, young man? What the heck
Explain.
are you
Where is the
saying?
Bantu? Where is
I'm
the
talking,
Bantu?
man. I'm talking. You stay quiet and listen. When I'm done, you can go ahead and make your point. But this is it. When I talk of we, I'm talking about Nilotics, Bantus. This is a
You are
thing
not
we have seen
Nilotic.
that the
You are not
population.
Nilotic. You are Bantu.
Bro,
Nilotic is another race.
shut up. I say when I talk of we, I'm
Shut up,
talking
man.
about
You stupid. You
Bantus.
don't
I'm
have an
talking about
IQ. What kind of
Nilotics. I'm
weed you
talking
had?
about black.
What kind of weed you had
Oh,
today?
can you go ahead
What
and
kind
talk?
of weed
I'm
you
done.
had? You stupid dumbass.
Okay, hold on, guys, please, guys.
He doesn't
Let's
have a brain. His IQ is very small.
hold on. Just I wanna hear what he's saying. Just just let
He
him
has 10 years
finish his
old
thought.
brain. He have 10 years old brain.
Afidemos, when I talk of black Africans, I'm talking about we the
Who's black?
Bantus,
I
the
am black too. We are
Nilotics.
black too. So what are you talking
Bro,
about?
Rashid,
bro,
let him
shut up.
speak. Rashid.
Rashid, let him finish, and you can answer.
We have
10 years
seen
old
that
boy.
Oh man, this guy. Can I talk? Come on,
Okay,
man.
go ahead. Go ahead.
We have seen that our population is fast increasing, right? So we are
Why
trying
are
to
you
build.
talking low? Did white person enter?
His
Yeah,
girlfriend
go
came
ahead
in and he
and
had to be
get
quiet
go on.
because she'll whip him. His white snow buddy came in. He has to be quiet.
No, he has
We
a-
know who the boss
no,
is,
he has a
Judah.
room.
Even you, how are you going to take over Africa, Judah? You can't even take over
He
your
has a
bedroom.
roommate. He has a roommate.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
wait.
stay quiet for a while. You guys should go ahead and talk.
Wait, no. Finish up.
Just be quiet. Your white girlfriend will get mad at you, Judah.
Wow, Elon, do you have like a camera on this guy? The way you describe. So wait, the guy that was supposed to kick out the whites and Somalis, Arabs, one white girl came in and
Boom, just right there.
She comes in with the whip, and it's just like old times. He shuts up. That's how it is. We know who
He
the
has a
boss is in
roommate.
Judah's bedroom.
Hey,
It's that snow bunny.
Afdamus. I mean, personally, I don't think Judah has any white girl. Because if he has some white girl and she's giving him some good game, he wouldn't be on this platform. Just
no, trust me, he's got a Mormon girl somewhere. She just
No.
showed up. Supergirl, thank you for the super chat. She said,
I mean-
Afridamas, is it time for a stream on Ambazonia soon, maybe, so Judah can shine? Yes, we'll do a show on Ambazonia, even though it's not a real country. But thank you, Supergirl. We will do that.
When Tunaja got his, NBA babe, you see the way he talk, it kind of changes him. Like, but for Judah, he's always complaining. If he had
Maybe the Mormon queen just walked in. You see. Hey, have you guys noticed? Am I the only one that noticed how his voice like dropped?
It totally dropped.
That's because we know who the boss is. Judah doesn't wear the pants. He wears his white girlfriend makes him wear a dress. And when his white girlfriend comes in, Judah's pronouns are she and her, and gay. And biatch.
I think Judah has any game, man. If he really has game, he wouldn't be complaining this match. Trust me.
Judah, you gonna sit there and let Zongo say all this?
I think Judah, you know what? You might be right, Zongo. Maybe Judah is just an incel. That's the problem. He just
ain't got no
masturbates so much that his penis bleeds, and he really just looks at these white women and he covets them, and he just needs one. He should come back to South Africa
came in.
where all the whites are, and maybe he can get one.
Wow, so you guys are just gonna wait when Judah's Mormon queen came in, and you guys just keep taking shots at him and dare him to say.
Talking about Mormon.
Do you guys think he's gonna go hide in a bathroom?
He's under the bed.
Alfredemo, shut up.
No.
Go ahead and
Did the boss leave, Judah? Did the boss leave, Judah? He had to mute it again.
Jama said, Judah, the snow bunny explorer. Jama, thank you very much for the super chat.
I need to sign out, Afrodamus. You just keep Judah in line, please. I don't want to have to come back and set him straight. Just remember, I'm pure African. I just procreated with Charlize Theron, and I'm creating an own line of pure Africans.
You're gonna be in line. What the heck are you talking about? Put me in line. Are
You're
you
in
kidding
Utah,
me? Are you paying my
okay?
bills?
You are in Utah, so you're not even in Africa. I'm in Pretoria right now. You're in Utah, so go get some skis, get some snowshoes, and go talk to the snow bunnies and have fun. Afrodamus, great show as usual. I'm signing out. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's do our closing statements. Judah will be last, but Zongo, you go first.
Hey, I mean, Afdamus, I ain't got nothing to say. I would say like great show. I mean, do you announce when you kinda like
Absolutely. I do put the announcements out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see it today. I just came on YouTube. I'm like, damn man, Afdamus online.
Yeah, well, I was gonna do it earlier than I had to take care of other business, so I just switched the time. I went and took care of that. Then I came back.
Oh, okay. But mostly like on Saturdays and.
Oh yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
That's our normal schedules.
Okay,
but
awesome.
in the week like today,
it's not
just because I have a lot of other topics, so I pick one in and drop it.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. Great show today. I love it. Hey, peace and blessings to Judah and Rashid.
Thank you, Zongo. Thank you.
Yeah, have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Zongo. Thank you. All right, guys, that was Zongo. Rashid, what do you want to
Yeah.
say?
So that was okay. You see, Jude claimed to be he claimed to be what they call it Bantu in Cameroon, right?
Right.
The Bantu that in the East Africa is totally nothing to do with that. What he claims is they are totally different. The Kenyans, the Tanzanians are also Bantus, but they are not associated with Cameroon. Cameroon is
And
another.
he
They
said
call
the
it,
black part. I'm
but
black, but I'm not Bantu.
no, you're another Bantu.
I'm West African.
Did they claim something Bantu came from
I said
Israel or
Nilotics,
Egypt or
Bantus, and Niger
because
Deltas. I did not just say
Let me
Bantu. I
talk.
did not just say
Let me
Bantus.
finish, man.
Go
Don't
ahead.
over talk. Let me finish. But Jude has an identity crisis because in one way he is confused with the Bantu stuff. The other way he's Amazonian. He has no country, and he has a ruler who will pee on himself. What his name is Bolbia. That's his president. So
Wait. But why you gotta pick on Paul Biya? Paul Biya's. Wait. Why you gotta pick on Paul Biya? What did he do?
That is
Go
leader.
ahead.
That is the leader of that country. So what I mean is that this guy they cannot
Judah doesn't acknowledge him. He's Ambazonia. Don't forget.
Okay, yeah, Abzoni, he cannot even, take out that weak guy I'm talking about. He cannot even get his own country and claim that the power that he want to take get Somalia and all Arabs, Egyptians and Tunisians and Morocco to send them to another country. So that power, why he didn't get his own country first, before he talked about the mighty North Africans who are the Moroccans, the Egyptians.
And
Egypt
he's
is
gonna
the
get
biggest
with the
power.
white
Egypt has
South
the biggest,
Africans
look,
too. They gotta
Egypt
go.
has the biggest military power in Africa. The biggest military power in Africa is Egypt. So how can you even talk to the mighty Egyptians they have this military power? You are little Amazonia, little small Amazonian, a drop of water. How can you even talk about like that? Even for, what about Somalia? We are warriors. If you come close to Somalia, we will just swallow you like the crocodile swallow the deer. So we're gonna swallow you like that. Do you know who we are? So just talk about your own small Amazonia country. You claim that Amazonian place. You are crying baby. You want to get independence. You don't have a country yet. And one time you live in Utah, where the white majority country area. You run away from black people, your own black people. You went to the gun down. You went from gun down to sundown. And you run to a sundown white area because you are really what do you call it, a coward. You run away from black people. You went there. You feel safe with the white people, and you're talking about white South African who own their own country, who built that country,
Who's this guy, man?
who lived there for centuries, like hundreds of years, built that country. You talk about them like that, but who you are? You have nothing there. Amazonia is a small area, small land, and you speak English, which is a European language. You don't even have your own language. You don't even have. So go ahead. I give you another mic.
Thank you very much, Rashid. Go ahead, Judah. Judah, are you there?
Oh yes, Alfredemus, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh man, I'm not gonna talk much, man. I don't know why people come on these panels and hate on people, man. It's just, I don't see the reason for people beefing, man.
Wait, you said people hating?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Like,
I know. Sometimes I wonder why are these people? Why are you guys hating on Judah? I could never understand it myself.
Right? I mean, someone is just making a point, calling me this, that. It makes no sense, man. Come on, man.
So
I made a point. Go ahead, Alfredemus.
No. You heard what Rashid said. So what is your closing?
He said I left a gun downtown and went to a sundown.
Yeah, he's saying that he's calling you a fleed man. He's saying you fled. You fled from, like the blacks like to say, people flee. So now they're saying you fled from gun downtown to sundown town, from the black area, from the Blazungus to the Muzungus.
Yeah, he's making no sense, man. But look, I'm not gonna talk much. I'm already like in the midst of
Yeah, we know. We know.
yeah, so I'm
We
not
know
gonna
she's
talk
there.
much.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, it's 9:30 p.m. over here right now. So
Oh, so you're
Thank
not
you,
allowed to
Damas.
talk.
no, it's
Thank you,
not like being
Damas,
allowed, but
for your.
Thank you,
you know
Rashid. Oh, so
what is happening on the continent, man? Things has to
no,
really
Judah,
change. You
Judah,
know?
it's okay. It's okay. You know, we would continue. What day will be the best day and time when we do the show?
What day? I work this weekend, and probably next week. You know, probably.
Okay, it's a day that Marianne won't be over.
Oh yeah, you know, I work weekends. You know, so by Sunday, you know,
Have you
I
guys
might
noticed how Judah, your tone changed completely? You're much, you know, you've become much nicer in the last few minutes.
Oh man, I'm always nice, man. Most
Oh,
people
I
take me
know,
for
I know.
somebody that's
Yeah, you were very nice to Elon and Rashid earlier
oh
too.
man. See, this is the thing that most people don't know about Judy. I only clack back on people when they clack back when they say nice things about me or
Oh, I
they
know,
want to go into competition.
I
But
know,
if you
Judah.
like,
You will never ever start anything like you would never say you would kick Somalis out of their country, triggering them or the kicking whites out. Or yeah, I mean, I get it. Like people, I don't know why these people want to get
you
all
see,
bent
you have
out
a
of
guy
shape.
on the panel. You have a guy on the panel who's mixed breed calling me ugly, as if he wanna like. Is he something? What's going on, man? A grown ass man calling another man ugly. Like, what the heck is happening in
So
these
did
people,
you
man?
did you flee? Did you flee? Gone downtown?
Uh,
Okay.
I live.
Well, Judah, well, I don't want you to get in trouble. We'll catch up with you. A minute ago, you were throwing Heil Hitler salutes, but all right, we'll talk with you later. Bye. So, guys, that was Judah. As you guys realize, his tone changed. Earlier, the guy was literally, being a Nazi leader, but now he's like giggling. Imagine, guys, can you imagine what Rashid's closing statement was? Can you imagine if the white queen was in there, the Mormon queen was not in the background, how Judah will respond to that? I would just leave it at that. I'll let you guys, do your own, come up with your own theory of what do you think is happening. But we all know somebody came in the back. We don't know who it is because Judah have even imagine. I mean, I'm listening. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Rashid literally came here, dragged Judah from sun up to sundown, and all he could respond to is giggle. No, 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 no. Somebody is in the background. Somebody is in the background. But we will just let it go. It's all good. It's all good. Judah, fine. We would let you off the hook this time around. But please, you best believe, when you bring that energy next time, it don't matter who shows up. We will still make sure you talk. DiCaprio said Judah left the Wakandan queen for Snow White. DiCaprio, man, why you want to start stuff with Judah, man? Yeah. So yeah, guys, that was the show. Even though I didn't finish the video, but I'm gonna do the other half, and we would definitely take an objective look at Ambazonia, and I'll allow people to call in, because the more I listen to Judah about doing all this stuff, why don't we look at the little place Ambazonia where he said, is his country, are they independent or not? And what makes one African? I'm confused. Is it about marrying four wives, wearing sandals? I mean, I don't know. Leave your, what makes one African in the comment section. Because all the experts we had up here, the last expert Jude. You know, for a minute, he was talking sense that we all understand, but then he took a left turn. When he took the left turn, so he said Africa, he talked about the black skin, make Africa black again. But he doesn't want the blacks in America and Caribbean. He's not willing to accept them back. But he's expecting the white people, mind you, the white people have been in South Africa as long as blacks have been in America, like 300-400 years. So he wants the Europeans. He's saying those people, their skin is white, so they should be accepted by the Europeans. But what about the blacks? The blacks in the West, the blacks in Caribbean, all the other blacks who, you know, no dispute, the records show they come from not only Africa, in fact, maybe Cameroon, his own country. A bunch of them came from there. So Judah doesn't want to accept them back. We don't know what Judah's plan is, but we will get to the bottom of this. It's a weird plan, though. It's a very weird plan. You know, on these channels, this is why I open these conversations, because you hear all kinds of theory. Some of you might just be like, oh man, I don't want to hear this. No, you think Judah's idea is bizarre? Man, they send me so many videos, so many different videos. When I hear what some of these other people come up with, it just makes me laugh. But you have to engage it, because there's a reason why people say the things they are saying. You see? AB said, Afridamus is hilarious. FBA will claim your red Moorish hat. Yeah, they will. Yeah, FBA might claim my red Moorish hat, you know, as reparation. Well, they would have to claim their reparation from Judah. But I know why Judah doesn't want to accept the blacks back. Because what he's talking about here, that means he's creating a huge empire. So why would he open himself to the conversation? I mean, it's a great plan. If he's going to build an empire, he's very aware of reparation and slavery. Why bring in the people that have a right to claim this reparation, and they have no problem reminding you? You see? So I see what he's doing there. He's like, why deal with that problem? You know, they're going to come here, they're going to undermine me, start questioning me and stuff. They're going to turn my place into gun downtown. You know, he already ran one time here, you know, here in the States. He left all the black areas to the white areas. So he's trying to close that loophole. He thinks we don't know, but we are onto you, Judah. We are onto you, just so you know. But ladies and gentlemen, look, being an African is not based in skin color. I get it. You can be a DNA African. Oh, African. At the end of the day, to me, you know what you are. I don't need to tell you. You know exactly what you are. So until next time, let me see. I want to thank you guys before I leave here. And I want to thank all the people that donated to the Afridamus report as usual. All those who called in, and please make sure, do not hesitate to contribute to the Amazonian Fund by donating to the Afridamus report. Until next time, I'm out, guys. I'm out.
love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. What's the